Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
Next comic all the way from Minnesota. Fuck the Vikings. Give it up for my boy Darrin Chase.
Is that what you pulled it up as? Hey, Facebook.
I think so. I don't know, I guess.
We're live now.
You guys, my agent's probably pissed. We're 13 minutes late.
Sweet. All right, cool. We're good to go. Hello, Facebook.
What's up, fuckers?
We have a guest.
Hi.
Darrin
Chase is our guest.
fucking Chase. Let's pause a second so that we can hear a word from our sponsors. Sarge here.
Frenzy here.
They're here to tell you about our sponsor, Northland Vapor Company. They're serving the global vaping community. What they do is they provide quality and non-costly e-liquid. For all you vape heads out there, this is important. They source top quality raw materials and do not use any artificial coloring, preservatives, or sweeteners in their products.
That's awesome. They also have 13 amazing flavors that come in 2 different sizes. 120 mils, which is priced at $14.99, and the 30 mil bottle option, which is priced at $6.99. That's like half the cost of normal other places.
Most places.
Yep. And they have some awesome flavors. The most popular right now is called Nuts and Cream. You're going to love these nuts.
Oh, I do love these nuts.
And they also have another flavor that is called Tangerine Dream, and it is oh so dreamy.
Northland Vapor also has a premium line called Apex. And these Apex Liquid comes in 30 milliliter bottles for $9.99 generally and has 7 flavors for your blowing cloud pleasure. Northland Vapor also offers free domestic shipping on orders of $50 or more. And free shipping on international orders of $100 or more. Everybody loves free shipping.
Yeah, that's
Hell
awesome.
Yeah.
You can check out their website, northlandvapor.com, and use the code SARGE20 for 20% off e-liquid and swag. They have some pretty sweet swag.
They got some badass swag.
Awesome hats, t-shirts, stickers, all
Hell
the
yeah.
things. And while you're there, make sure that you sign up for their Northlander Rewards program. You can earn points towards future orders, get discounts, savings, get promotional stuff, find out when new flavors are coming out. Just do that. And make sure Northland Vapor Company is on your radar. Be the cloud.
Do it.
Do it now.
Later, fuckers.
Bye.
Sarge here
Frenzy here.
to talk to you about Alpine Hemp and their awesome hemp oil products. Okay, Alpine Hemp makes full spectrum whole plant hemp oil, also known as CBD oil, which is extracted from the hemp plant, and it's not psychoactive. That means it can't get you high, and
No.
you're not going to fail a drug test.
Exactly. Hemp oil is made up of cannabinoids, and these are natural compounds that are found in whole plant hemp extract. They can be used to help with pain, inflammation, anxiety, cigarette addiction, acne, mood swings, sleep issues, and so many more things. It's got so many beneficial properties.
Alpine Hemp is committed to creating the highest quality and most effective hemp oil products on the market. They source high quality, organic ethanol extracted hemp oil. This allows them to have an all natural product from start to finish.
Boom. And you're probably wondering, is it legal? Yes, absolutely. It's completely legal because it's extracted from hemp grown organically in the US of A. Alpine Hemp offers their quality products in 3 different forms. They have capsules, tinctures, put a little dip in your coffee, and vape e-liquid.
Yes, and you can do all this research on your own, or you can go to alpinehemp.com and get more info.
Yeah, and while you're there, use the code SARGE20 for 20% off of your order.
Beautiful! Boom!
Bye!
Later.
Hey everyone, it's Kevin Goatee from Comics Watching Comics. If you like stand-up comedy, we've got it. If you like comics busting the balls of other comics, we definitely got it. Watch myself and the other panelists and see which of the newer comics will win a spot on the showcase at a top club in New York City. I'm also happy to announce that the show will be moving to Amazon Prime in the next month or so. Check us out on Amazon Prime, Comics Watching Comics. And while you're at it, take a listen to the SportsBook Box Office Podcast. My comedian friend Jeff Paul and I break down what's happening in the sports world. We talk baseball, football, hockey, you name it. We also talk about movies, and we love to tell the other person why their opinion is wrong. Check us out on iTunes, the SportsBook Box Office Podcast. The feed is in.
Should we play some theme song here and make this official?
We probably should.
Yeah?
If it's my wrestling entrance, you guys are awesome.
And welcome to Sarge Approved.
Welcome.
I'm Sarge, and I'm here with Frenzy.
Hello.
And who's our guest tonight, Frenzy?
Darrin Chase.
Motherfucking Darrin Chase.
The
Live
wave.
in
Hi.
studio. So, Darrin, you've been on the show before.
Yes, sir.
You're making return, second time on the show, and we're especially fans of yours, not only because you're hilarious.
Aw.
I mean that. But you're also a Minnesota dude. You're from Minnesota.
Minnesota native.
Yeah, we like that shit.
Born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wilmer, Minnesota.
I think it's been, last time we had you on was March.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I was performing in Minnesota, actually.
You were at Dangerfields.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
We should have got you on live that time.
Yeah, well, yeah. This is
We were stupid back then.
good excuse to come back.
That was what, episode like 36?
Like 40.
No, I think it was in the 30s.
Like 43-ish.
And we just recorded 75.
This is going to be episode 76.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I feel
We're
special.
moving on up.
you should. So you're currently living out in the LA area?
Yeah, last time we talked, I was living in my car.
Yeah.
That's right. You're not homeless anymore, dude.
No, I live right behind the Dolby Theater, right off Hollywood Boulevard in Highland. There,
Nice.
literally the busiest intersection in LA, if not the West Coast, or anywhere other than New York. But
And you get to have your dog with you, right?
no,
Oh,
my roommate's allergic, and I'm like,
I think your roommate's full of shit.
I
bet she's not allergic.
I think your roommate needs to man up and
That's not the first
take
time I've heard that. Yeah,
some Zyrtec or some shit.
not the first time I've heard that. No, I'd love to have her down there. I'm trying to find a new spot where I can get her down there, or a different. They're actually renovating our building, and they're slowly trying to kick everyone out. So probably only be there a few more months, and then the next spot I'll
Be able to
more
take
set
her.
up.
Yeah.
I just just getting set up with her. She's good here in Minnesota. It gives me an excuse to come back and visit the family, and
There you go.
Yeah.
got the dog there and everything. So
We've been kind of following that whole situation because we know you moved out there just kind of on a whim, right? You're like, I'm gonna go fucking try and chase this dream of comedy, which you have been surprisingly successful at. Only coming up on 5 years.
yeah, 5 years, September 10th. So
Yeah, you've been surprisingly successful at it in 5 years, and they say a lot of comedians, the ones who have been in it for 20 years or so, and they've made it.
Yeah.
A lot of them say that a minimum of like 10 years before shit starts coming together and shit starts clicking for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that 10-year mark because
You're only halfway through,
Yeah.
and you're working constantly. You're on all kinds of TV shows now. You're getting I know it's background work. But still.
It was fun to be on set, but yeah, I'm like, man, I just lied to my friends. Oh, they cut my speaking line out. I don't know. You can see me in the background, but I was an actor. No, but no, it's I hear you. Yeah, it's trying to stay working in Hollywood and moving around and.
Yeah, and that's only going to get you more recognition.
Yep.
But your comedy has come along immensely.
Thank you.
And not only are you legitimately funny, and I know it sounds like I'm sucking your dick here right now, but I mean,
are your knees have
my knees are raw right now. But you're a funny ass dude, and it's nice to see somebody that, I mean, we consider you a friend. And it's nice to see our friends be successful,
Thank you.
Especially when they're out chasing that fucking dream. And, I don't give a shit if you're successful at your accountant job, your 9-to-5 job. I don't give a shit about that. Neither of us do. We care about the people that are out, like, saying, fuck the 9-to-5. I'm going to try to do what it is in life that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And try to make a living off of it. And, that's what we're doing with this podcast here.
A grassroots thing. You get it started. I'm trying to talk to my friends back home about doing that. People in Wilmer that are doing nothing but complaining. And I've been pointing out to my friends, and they might be watching that. I've been literally, every time they bring up, I go, do you realize how many times you said this sucks because, or it sucks because? Like, you're complaining about something that, that job isn't what you should be doing your whole life. You're complaining about your employer, but you should use that as motivation to do something else and have your own business. And, there's a rapper, Mac Lethal.
Yes. Mac Lethal, that motherfucker's talented.
Have you heard his song Weekly Wage? It's awesome. The chorus is, a weekly wage is an addiction. It's so much worse than any drug. You're a slave to security and comfort, so you never pursue the things you love. And it's like, that's, people get locked into that rut, and they're like, oh man, the job only pays this much, so I have to look at how much time I have. Like, oh, the job pays this, so in 3 years we might be able to do it. It's like, 3 years time? You might be able to just do it now. It'll work out. Like, I just drove up here from LA, and people go, you shouldn't do that. And things have been working out, and everything, everything works out when it should. If you just leap, you have
to actually take the, like you said, the leap or take the initiative to make things happen.
Yeah, but that shit's scary.
If you're stagnant, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah,
it is scary.
That's scary as fuck.
At the same time, then be complacent in where you're at, I guess.
Exactly. You don't have a whole lot of right to complain if you're not willing to take that leap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just too easy to get caught up in the system.
You get comfortable.
That's an atmosphere line. Atmosphere. Complacency seems so simple. It's just like, that's just the way to go. Like,
because no matter who you are, you have bills to pay.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to just get a 9-to-5 and get that paycheck, that regular paycheck coming in, knowing that, okay, I can pay my bills. I may be miserable, and I might wake up every morning fucking pissed that I got to go into this bullshit job, but at least I know I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
And it's scary as fuck. You go and chase something that you don't know if you're going to make money at, especially right away. Comedy ain't easy.
And everyone's trying to tell you, hey, maybe don't do that. Everyone's trying to talk you out. And it's the whole crab pot theory of, you don't need a lid on a crab pot because if a crab starts climbing out, other crabs will grab onto it and hold it down. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to put a lid on the thing.
Really?
That's called the crab pot theory.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Just stay with us.
Yeah, or maybe, okay, you're climbing. Let me pull you. Let me try to climb with you. And in a sense, the people that are trying to think they're helping you are your anchor.
Right.
And a lot of people hold on to those people in life, and they'll keep those people near. They go, oh, well, I can't make it to this open mic because I got invited to a birthday party, or I can't do it because this person wants me to be there for them with this. And it's like, well, is that going to help you towards your dream? Or if you were to miss this right now and accomplish your dream, would that person still be your friend? So are you going to give up on your dream to keep your friend, or...
Fuck your friend. That's not your friend.
Look back, and
that's not your friend.
And that's exactly the case, is the people that understand. I have in my life people that have come back into my life that have become great friends that I wasn't necessarily best friends in high school, people that I knew I was acquaintance with. They just see what I'm doing. They're like, oh, man, I respect it. And they have an honest friendship they've come back and they've gone, okay, you're a real person. And I have some people that break away because they're maybe unwilling to look at the fact they're not doing certain things in their life, and everyone wants to kind of judge. And there's a Bill Burr quote that goes along with what you're saying about not being willing to, or just wanting to have that comfortable life. That average 9-to-5 working the thing. Mm-hmm. And this quote, Bill Burr says, realize that sleeping on a futon when you're 30 is not the worst thing. You know what the worst is? Sleeping in a king bed next to a wife you're not really in love with, but for some reason you're married to, and you got a couple kids, and you got a job that you hate. You'll be lying there fantasizing about sleeping on a futon. There's no risk when you go after a dream. There's tremendous amount of risk playing it safe. And that's one of those quotes that I saw after I already start kind of like going, it just motivated to go the right way, keep on pushing forward, and keep on just, I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to live somebody else's.
Right. You work 9 to 5. You make a dime. Your boss makes $10
work for somebody else.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I don't want to work the rest of my life trying to make somebody else rich.
No.
And I don't want to get rich myself.
And that comes with the territory, though, because life provides in a way. People want to say it's God. People say it's universe. People want to say it's luck. People want to say whatever fortune they want to put the comment on. It will provide. Things work out. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that being in LA and seeing some of the people that are really successful, a guy like Tony Hinchcliffe, for example, that you'll hear people on the comedy scene that will either trash talk him for one reason or another, for any reason. But if you look at his life as a comic, he's the exact same age as me. Like, I think he's a little bit, a couple of months younger. But he puts things out there, and then it happens. And it's kind of like the Conor McGregor, the verbalization thing. And Tony's even mentioned, like, Roddy Piper gave him some advice. And he's like, who would have thought that a guy that performed for 30,000 people a night would be right about this kind of stuff? And when I watch his life and watch the way it works, you go, oh, it's all about attitude. It's all about living that dream, and life will provide. You'll get the stuff handed to you to live the life you want to live. Every time, as soon as you put it out there, things will just work out. Someone will just offer you some. I've had it happen where money's just been where I've been tight on something, and all of a sudden, someone that I didn't expect is, hey man, I want to lend you this. I want to help you out with this, or something's worked out where an opportunity's provided itself. Where I'm like, oh, if this didn't pop up now, I'd have been screwed.
Yeah.
Like background work. Most time background work will pay you 2 weeks later. You get paid, you do the thing, and 2 weeks later you get a check. There was one time I was out of money. I was sitting with, I had something I had to do, and I needed the money. And I didn't put it out there that I was struggling. I didn't put it out there that I was, oh, this sucks, whatever. I just let life happen. And I went to work one day, and it was background at Venice Beach, where we're just hanging out, watching this movie, Slam a Jam, watching this slam dunk contest. It was so easy. Didn't have to do anything. Literally just walked around Venice Beach because they had tourists that filtered in and kind of took the role of the background. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
And at the end of the day, they handed you a check for $100. And normally that never happened. Normally it was 2 weeks wait. And I had 2 days in a row of, here's $100, here's the day and I was like, oh, I really needed this now.
Yeah.
Wow. And I didn't expect it. I didn't ask anybody for it. I just said, if things will work out. And then this gig happened, and I didn't know the gig paid that day until they paid me that day. And I just didn't worry. And that was what we talked earlier about my weed delivery business. I used to deliver weed in Seattle. That's when I first started comedy. Shortly after I started comedy, I started doing weed delivery because I wanted to do something that allowed for me to have the time to do what I really wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I knew if I wanted to do comedy and I worked for somebody else doing some other job, I'd have a reason to complain. And, I can't make that set because my boss wants me to work.
Right.
But if I do something else that's a little more free, weed delivery, whatever, I can fund what I want to do. And my first 3 years of comedy were funded by something that gave me the lifestyle of a professional comic. I got to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I can go wherever I wanted, know when I'd be funded. And I get to live that life. So it kind of put that seed in my head of, this is how a fresh comic would live. And then things start happening. And then, little things like you get a job that will pay the bills to get you X far, and then eventually do a commercial or do whatever.
Right.
And things provide if you're just willing to jump. Like Steve Harvey, he has a whole thing on YouTube where he's talking to the crowd of Family Feud. And he has a thing where you just got to leap. Just leap. And he's like, anything you want to do, if you want to be a professional lawnmower, if you like mowing, whatever you do, just leap. Take that faith. And the wings will catch. He's like, the wings won't catch and take you there if you don't leap. And then, just you see the people that are successful.
Yeah, there's a million quotes that you can recite for that whole idea.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, and not even if you're trying to become rich and famous.
No.
Just the idea that you can do something that you absolutely enjoy doing that doesn't feel like work, and if you can at least pay all your bills with it, how fucking freeing and just exuberating can that feel?
Yeah.
If you're doing comedy and that's the only thing you have to do to pay your bills. That's fucking amazing.
Well, yeah. Plus, you just keep going on. You don't settle for anything less than that. And that I think is like the coolest thing. That you're like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. And I'm going to make it work by doing this. And things are going to happen for me however they happen. And that's it.
Yeah, you can't really, and I read that in the Law of Attraction book, is you can't dictate how you want it to happen. You just say what you want to happen, and you don't know how life will bring it into your thing.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes they give you there is, if you ask life for yellow and blue, but you don't specify, you can't get mad if it gives you green.
Right.
Because that's yellow and blue. And so, so it's little things that start happening. And for me, I started noticing, putting it out in the universe and watching it happen in a simple case of like, I wonder if, I'd love to have cash in my pocket every day. Just cash in my pocket every day.
Just make it rain.
Well, then all of a sudden I had this job where I was doing vending for the Seahawks and Sounders and stuff, where the only way people can pay for the candy is cash. So every day, even though it wasn't my cash, but I had cash in my pocket every day, I went, huh, okay. I asked for cash in my pocket every day. I didn't specify I wanted to be my cash. All right. And then I started to change that mentality. And then all of a sudden I had the weed delivery business where I had a box of cash every day.
Are you one of those The Secret dudes where you
to
believe?
A point, yeah.
You think so?
This is why I'm rooting on Conor McGregor for this fight Saturday against Mayweather, is because he's a law of attraction guy too. He's a guy that calls it, puts it out there. When he beat Jose Aldo, he said, I'm going to slip his punch, catch him with the left.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
We were just talking about that with Triple
he got clipped a little bit, but he still slipped the punch he knew was coming, hit him with that left, knocked him out. And afterwards, someone said, you called this, and he said it. He goes, Mystic Max strikes again. So he puts it out in the universe. If you have the courage to speak it and visualize it, it'll happen.
Yeah.
And now with the Conor McGregor thing and Mayweather thing, with the second, I was like one of those people going, Mayweather probably is going to have it based on the boxing, all this stuff like that. And then a couple months ago, they revealed the painting that's in Conor's training center. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's a really awesome painting of McGregor knocking out Mayweather, or at least landing on a really solid shot. And Mayweather's face just, and the second I saw that, I went, oh my God, his belief level is so much higher.
Yeah.
And he went from saying 4 rounds or less to now the other day in an interview, he goes, I can't visualize it going more than 2 rounds. I've tried. I cannot even visualize it getting to 2 rounds. So his visualization.
He can't go more than 2 rounds if McGregor's going to win.
No, well, I think
he's not going to win on points.
No, he's never going to win on points. But I think that just his visualization, I don't think he even sees it going longer than that. I don't think that's even an option. I think and that's where I'm rooting it on. I'm hoping it wins, because that just puts another dash on the mark of law of attraction. You got Jim Carrey, you got these people, and if Conor wins in the first 4 rounds, it's a visual representation. You can go, look, he said this and it happened. It's not just luck at this point. He said this multiple times, and he visualizes it.
It's not luck. It's we had Daniele Bolelli and Savannah M on a couple nights ago, and Daniele refers to it as weird Irish magic. Well, that's how McGregor does some of the shit that he does.
Sure, but that's law of attraction. You got that, and you got that. I mean, he's just really efficient at applying that. And I think another guy is Tony Hinchcliffe, and I think another guy is Jim Carrey. I think another guy is like Will Smith. You hear these people doing these interviews where they talk about visual. Denzel Washington. They're all out there saying, visualize it, you see it, and it'll happen.
I don't necessarily agree with The Secret, the whole idea of the book, because it makes it seem that book makes it seem like there's this magical entity floating around in the air that you can basically, if you visualize it, you can make it happen. You know, like I can't.
If you build it, they will come.
But it also
Field of Dreams.
But I think too many people took it too literally.
Well, there's people that want the easy way out. They want to find.
They think, well, if I imagine a Ferrari, I'm going to get a Ferrari.
They're not willing to do the work.
But it doesn't work like that, though.
Yeah.
Exactly, the fucking work.
Yeah,
that's the important thing. And you got to visualize it and actually implement that vision instead of just sitting back and like, where's my fucking Ferrari?
Yeah, no, that doesn't work like that. You're a lazy piece of shit.
Entitled.
A Ferrari.
Everyone's entitled. They want something they didn't earn. You know, it's like
I'm going to think that I want this thing, so I'm just going to sit back and wait for it to happen. When it doesn't happen, I'm going to be pissed.
What's up, James Hammond? James Hammond is watching.
James.
I really agree with that kind of mentality, though. The Secret, the Law of Attraction. I read Law of Attraction, Teachings of Abraham. I didn't read The Secret, and it's kind of like the same teachings, but it wasn't. There's something that the Secret kind of commercializes that kind of makes it seem like an easier thing than it is for most people or whatever, and like Law of Attraction kind of put out there, kind of broke it down conversationally. And this is they say that there is this other entity and all this other stuff. What it does kind of sound weird and like there's no way.
Yeah.
And I can
I'm
use
good
a little.
I could do like a halfie.
Yeah, I can use a little refill. A fish. A little top off. But that's
Gracias, muchacho.
like for anyone that follows me or sees my Facebook or anything, they know like I love conspiracies. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing when people one of my favorite, and I say this in my act, I say this all the time, my favorite conspiracy is the flat earth theory. I love it. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I just love it. I'm rooting them on. I want to be right.
Yeah.
And I want to be right for the same reason I want McGregor to win this fight, because it proves law of attraction. It's in the sense of people going, well, it sounds like there's this magical entity and there's this and that. It's like, well, in the sense of the flat earth theory, it could be a digital simulation that we're just in here playing the role of our first-person character. And if that was the case,
Thank you.
well, we might be able to actually manifest whatever we wanted. Because if we're living in the ball flying around another ball, flying around another thing,
Yep.
that seems like stupid voodoo magic. It seems impossible. It seems like there's no way
Well,
you
that's
can
gonna
manifest your own thing. But if you're living in a world of, well, this is a digital simulation, a projection of your expectations of what you thought life was going to be before you came here, so you can come here and experience all the stuff you want to be experiencing, be it attention from whatever route you're going in, be it love from your family, be it whatever, you can have that happen.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm when people go, well, how can you justify flat earth? Why would someone lie about the earth? It's like, well, maybe there's a controlling entity that knows we can manifest whatever the hell we wanted to in life, and if they just controlled our emotions, we couldn't. So if they just made us fearful, they made us scared, they made us restricted, and all of a sudden we got a guy like Trump. We have all these protests, this or that. You're either one side or the other. There's no gray area. If you take the gray area, you're on the bad side because you're a justifier of them. And like when recently people going, well, Trump just stood up for Nazis. I listened to that interview and I went, no, he stood up for permit holders. He never once defended Nazis. He never once said, I'm on the side of them. He said, no, that's reprehensible. But they had permits.
Right.
And these other people didn't. And they aggravated them. And if these people are aggravatable and these people came without permits, well, then you're both at fault.
Exactly.
And the majority of people heard that as, go Nazis.
Right.
It's like, no.
But
he
there's
didn't
also-
say that. Yeah.
Right. And that's the whole thing is people take things the way that they want to take them. For example, the eclipse yesterday happened. There's eclipse, I guess, yesterday that happened.
Did it? I couldn't see it.
I don't know. And him and Melania and Barron were out on their little balcony with their glasses on or whatever. And I feel like this is total, like, Photoshop. I don't think it's Photoshopped, but I think it's probably, like, before the eclipse even happened kind of thing. He's looking at the sun, and all the people are like, oh my god, the one thing is that you shouldn't be looking at the eclipse. That's the one rule. Wear the glasses. And it's like, really, I don't think that he's that dumb to really look at the eclipse without glasses.
Did you see how bright it was on him, too? It's like, well, if there's an eclipse, wasn't it supposed to be black out?
Yeah.
Wasn't it supposed to be any right in the path? Like, it was so sunny.
Yeah,
They want a reason to make fun of somebody. They want a reason to feel superior.
Right. Like, it's just all the things that it's just too much. Like, it's...
You are a flat earther.
No, I'm a flat Earth hopeful. I'm not one of the guys going out there doing the tests, trying to promote and saying, guys, the Earth is flat. Check it out. I'm one of the people going, okay, if you say the Earth is flat, let me hear you out as to what your reasons are, and if your reasons are stupid, well, I'm not going to listen. And the more I listened, I went, well, okay, that's actually plausible. And people are going out, and the biggest part of evidence outside of the flat Earth map that's been around for hundreds of years, documented hundreds of years old, being the UN logo, which in a movie would be like the one thing you would need. It's right in our plain sight. They get the map, and people, that's the only way to represent the Earth in a 2D model. Oh yeah, and leave out Antarctica? Sure. Yeah, just that doesn't matter. We'll leave that one out. It's because we got all the other things from above, and that so happens to be the thing that works best on. I'm not gonna get into that. My one thing that is a bit of like a, well, that's interesting, is we can see pictures of space and water follows the curve of the Earth. We can see it curving with the Earth. But what flat earthers are doing, and I separate myself from them because I'm not the one doing the experiments, I'm just listening to what they're saying. They're going to the water, to the edge of the beach, whatever, and they're watching boats go over the horizon and disappearing from the bottom up. Like we go, okay, it's going over a ball. But then they're taking a camera, a high-powered Nikon P900 camera, the biggest zoom you can possibly have, and they're zooming in on that boat, and it appears all the way from the bottom up. You can see every bit of the boat, which by theory would say we can see around a curve. But what they're proving is that it just keeps on going. So the biggest video evidence, there's this guy named Mick West, and he was on Joe Rogan's podcast to debunk. You'll get there in a couple months. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast to debunk the flat Earth. So the only other time this guy Mick West popped up was on Joe Rogan's TV show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything, where he's debunking chemtrails. The only other time this guy pops up is to debunk something else. And chemtrails, I'm not saying that they're spraying things on people or whatever the motives for chemtrails, but if you can't look up in the sky and see, oh, that plane is leaving a trail that stays into a cloud, and that trail disappears, you can look up and see these two things happening at the exact same time, exact same plane. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe there's a little different, but the heights, whatever. I've seen in Seattle the thing spread out. I don't know if they're spraying or whatever.
The
but
lower an airplane flies, the closer they are to.
Yeah, and again, so
if they're way up in the sky, they're way higher than other planes.
They're way up in the sky. Angelo Vecchio just joined. Say hello to him. Vesh.
There's actually a video of a guy of a plane flying, and it looks like it's making dash marks in the sky because he's turning on the chemtrail thing and turning it off. And the video is like, this guy's trying to give us warning.
What?
So there's actually a video where you see the cloud behind the plane, and there's gaps. There's legit gaps, and this came out recently. So I'm saying there are things where there's evidence exists that certain planes. So all I'm saying is, this guy Mick West popped up then to debunk chemtrails. Whether he's right or wrong was debunking, that's when he popped up. The other time he popped up is on Joe Rogan's to debunk flat Earth, and he's saying, well, these flat earthers aren't taking into consideration as they're looking over the curve, is not taking into consideration how tall they are. So you take that. You add your height into there, now you can see further across the water than the math should. Because the math on the ball is 25,000 miles in circumference, 8 inches per mile squared, whatever it drops off to make the ball. And the math, actual trigonometry, that non-flat earther base, proves those numbers. So over a certain distance, you shouldn't be able to see certain things because it should go over the curve. So what this latent girl did, Jenna Fredo is her name, she goes on and she's standing in this lake in New York, and she zooms into Toronto. And as she's standing there with a regular view, you can't see Toronto. As she zooms in, you see the entire skyline, the Rogers Center, which is only 200 some odd feet, and she types the numbers into Mick West's website, this website called Metabunk, that's supposed to go, well, here's the actual formula. She types in her numbers, and based on his calculations, she shouldn't be able to see that building due to 200 feet of curvature lost, and then another 200 feet. That building, that should be 400 feet of curvature lost based on 50 miles and her height, and she can see the entire building. And then Mick West personally started messaging her saying, "Oh no, that's a mirage." He started getting like, and people, and they've been out. You can look up the last few months, the Mick West, Jenna Fredo kind of thing, and it's weird how nervous he got, and so it's like, yeah, and it's like, well, that's odd because she kind of just debunked your own website, dude.
Yeah.
And then he's going, no, it was a mirage. It's like, you can see it's not a mirage. You can tell what a mirage is versus something zooming in and seeing something up here and zooming out, and it the same thing.
So if Earth is flat, then that would have to mean that all the other planets in
Well,
our solar system are flat too, right?
Oh, well, now here's what I've been saying to that question. Again, I'm not the authority on any of this.
Do you work for NASA?
I take pictures of all the NASA T-shirts because it's amazing how many NASA T-shirts and logos you see amongst your day. Every day you see them, and it's weird. And they don't charge anything to make a T-shirt. They don't make money off these T-shirts. You can make a NASA T-shirt and sell it. So if there was to be an indoctrination process, I think that might be a good way. It's just flooding everything with your logo. This company that was started by Nazi scientists. I don't know. They seem trustworthy. But even still, if it were to be... So like I tell people, this is a table. It's flat. If I hold this above it, does it make this any less of a cup? Because this is flat, this has to be flat now, or is it still a cup?
No, it's still a cup.
So if there was to be planets stuff, it could be this digital thing, and there could be projections of planets or actual things out there that are whatever. Because here's the weird thing, is if you zoom into these planets with telescopes and stuff, they just kind of break up, and they don't ever look like the pictures were showed they look like, ever. Mm-hmm. They're lights in the sky that break up, and this has happened. I noticed this when I was staying at a place in Breckenridge a couple years ago. Before I was ever questioning space and everything, we're on this place in the mountains, and there's a telescope. So we're like, oh, dope. Let's check out these stars. We're up the highest elevation we're going to be in, and we're zooming into the star. And no matter what focus we put it on, the star was just circles of like round lights that were in a circle. And it was like it never looked like a planet or a star. It was, and I've seen videos where people have done the same thing, zoomed in, and they can't see what NASA's showing us via their CGI images.
Right.
And so it's like, I'm to the level where, am I a flat earther? No. Do I trust NASA? No. Do I think that we could be in a simulation where if it's a digital simulation, would it be a flat projection? Yeah, probably. If it's a simulation, could it be whatever you want it to be? Yeah. So if you want a Pluva to be one thing or another,
What's the point of it?
for your own experience, your own God.
Why would our government or NASA want us to believe that the Earth is...
So you didn't have control of your own stuff. So you're essentially just a small speck of life on this even smaller speck of dust in a vast nothingness in the comparison of like the sun and the next biggest thing. Do you know that NASA's official terminology for what the sun is rotating around is called the Great Attractor?
What?
That's NASA's official terminology for what the sun is rotating around. They don't even know what it is. They're saying it's called the Great Attractor. So NASA says this stuff, and people, they don't hear it. We're watching Game of Thrones. We're watching Breaking Bad. We're watching sports. We're watching anything other than this stuff. We hear this stuff in passing. We see that there's an actual news thing just recently where it's the news caster saying NASA's looking for a alien life form interpreter, someone to be the ambassador and help protect us against alien life. They're taking applications. It's an actual news report and an actual thing that the guy that there's this guy online that kind of like outs the stuff, and he's going, this seems like it's a passing indoctrination. The average person hears it. So when you hear this stuff and you go, well, why? You go, I don't know why, but it seems like that is what they're doing. And it seems like if they were to be doing it, it'd be to hide the fact that we have more power in our own individual lives. It's like, listen to us, do what we want. Don't live this life that you can do whatever. And that gets me right back to the idea of like, if it's round or flat, whatever. But if it's flat, that definitely means that. And take biblically, the first commandment: I am the Lord, the God of no other God before me. It's like, what if that's literal?
Yeah.
What if that's a literal thing where you go, no, I am my own God. I'm not going to worship another man on a Sunday because he missed a kick. I'm not going to worship this other athlete or this other superstar or movie star. I'm not going to live my life through them. I'm my own God, have my own experiences. And I kind of started taking that mentality, and I don't want to say I've been proving it, but things have kind of been working out. It's kind of going the route of the McGregor, of the Jim Carrey, of the Denzel, where it's like, yeah, you put it out there, and to a degree, we're kind of cloudy in the sense of like how much.
Do you know Rocky Roberts?
Oh yeah, I know Rocky.
He goes, who is this guy? Seems like he's a flat earther.
Yeah, Rocky's a faggot. He can't take the word of anyone that takes it in the butt.
We were talking with Sam Tripoli last night about this. We brought you up, and he's like, I fucking love Darrin Chase, and he was talking about Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
Was talking to him about how he wants to get a comedy show together that has to do with what was it? Eddie Bravo wanted to get some kind of comedy show together, and Sam said that he wants to get you in on it.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a conspiracy thing.
That would explain why he wants me on it.
Yeah, it was.
He said, I fucking love Darrin Chase, except he's a flat earther.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
I thought that you were just fucking with me. This flat earth thing. I'm pretty sure he's fucking with you. Like, every time I see Darrin Chase, he's like, flat earth.
Well, because Sam has his tinfoil hat. I'm like, dude, I just want you to approach the topic. Like, I even brought up to Bill Burr where I was like, have you ever looked into flat earth? Like, because I just want to hear somebody approach the topic from an outsider. Because the problem is, and this is, like, every time I bring it to anybody, my thing to them is going, please watch what I watched and show me where I'm wrong. And then no one ever wants to watch what I watch. They're like, no, you're just wrong. I'm like, what? And then they hit me with all these points. I'm going, I hear that, and I'm on the side that you're on too. Like, I would love for space to be what it is and NASA to be real and this all to be an option. I absolutely would love that. As a kid, I grew up loving all that. Astronauts and all my Legos were astronauts. Everything about it. I loved every side of it. So the points when people start hitting me with, dude, it's not flat because, they hit me with everything I was saying 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. My buddy actually got me into this podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, which had a comedian, a mystic, and a conspiracy theorist. And I was like, at first, I'm like, I don't need any. I don't listen to anything. I got my own shit I'm doing. He's like, listen to it. They talk about flat Earth, and this is before I ever I was like, that's stupid. No, I'm not going to listen to that. That's dumb. Why would I hear anyone talking about flat Earth? So easy. So when I finally went in and I was like, all right, I'm listening to Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, I found only the ones where the title said something, Dave Talks Flat Earth. So let me listen to this crazy guy talk about, and a couple podcasts in, I'm like, dude, is that really a thing? Is there a picture of an actual satellite in space? Can I find it? And I started looking, and I can't find a real picture of a satellite. I can't find a non-CGI picture of Earth. Really? And that's the problem, is you think you should go, no, we got that. I've gone to the observatory. No, it's all CGI. Every bit of it. Because it's computer generated. So they got just images of satellites taken, by another satellite right next to it? Like the Hubble took a picture of itself? No, it's all, and exactly, we don't think about this kind of stuff. We just assume they must know. Why has there never been an astronaut that's been in space going, hey, look, check it out, there's the moon, and then do a full 360 and go, and there's the Earth?
Because they don't have...
NASA doesn't have a camera to be able to do a full 360? A camera, not a smartphone, but a camera. NASA doesn't have it, and you go, well, there's some interesting things that we should have that we just don't. And again, I just lean to the point where I go, because it's control. Because if they told us that there was this other stuff, we would either A, freak out, B, not be able to be controlled by this system that we listen to. This, we learned it in school, man. Oh yeah, you mean that school system that was started by people that didn't go to that same school system? That school system that this was kind of created to get people to learn something strictly based off repeating it, not based off critical thinking and going, I wonder. Like the eclipse moved from west to east across the United States. The Earth spins from east to west, and the moon moves the same direction. So if you go, how the hell did the eclipse move the opposite way of the Earth? And there's two different models of this. There's one on timeanddate.com that shows the Earth spinning the wrong way to make the eclipse work. It shows the Earth spinning where the sun would set in New York instead of California. And then there's other ones that show the moon going around the Earth 2 times faster than it actually does. So the only way they can show the model of how the eclipse worked the way it worked yesterday is by fudging the model. So you go, you should be able to show me an actual model without making it go the wrong way or at the wrong speeds. And they just don't. They just have their numbers and their words. So then it turns into, okay, I've taken another man's word on it, not my own senses, not my own experience, not my own personal judgment. I have to take, that guy did the studies on it. I have to listen to him.
So what was the eclipse? It wasn't the moon crossing the sun.
I don't know. Anyone that I'm not taking the point of authority on it. I'm taking the point of when the eclipse happened, nobody reported seeing the moon in the sky anywhere near the fucking sun. Is that because the side of the moon is lit up that it shouldn't be, whatever? But we've seen the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. You've seen a moon that's...
Yeah, but I saw pictures of them actually like crossing paths. Because there's only that whole... There was only that little... Yes, we can pause. No, you're fine.
All right. What's up, Will Clyden?
Will Clyden.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's that flat Earth thing. I don't know. I mean, how does that work? Does that mean we can fall off the face of the planet?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me look it up. I'm looking it up right now.
You look up flat Earth?
Yeah. I think it's a bunch of shit. There's a society. There's a society, so that makes it like a cult, basically. Consists of individuals who believe that the Earth is flat rather than oblate spheroid. Such groups date from the middle of the 20th century.
Well, this is kind of breaking. I don't know if it's the headphones or if it's the actual recording, but it's choppy on the thing. But Flat Earth Society, fun fact, is not actually associated with anyone that's currently vocal about the Flat Earth on YouTube. Every current Flat Earther... Now it's good.
It's good. Okay.
Every current Flat Earther does not associate with the Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society says some crazy shit like, if you drop something, the Earth is actually matching, it's raising up, so that's why there's no gravity. So Flat Earth Society, by all measurable stances, seems like it's controlled opposition.
Okay.
So there's the Flat Earth Association and a few other things where the people are Flat Earthers. I love, it's my favorite TV show. Like, I watch it as a TV show where even if it's not real, neither is a TV show. Even if it comes out like, oh man, here's the proof the Earth's a ball. Cool, I would love to see it. But as it stands right now, when I challenge people to go, watch what I watch and show me what I'm missing, they either A, never talk to me again, or B, become a flat earther. And they go, oh crap, oh dude, the Earth is flat. I'm going, hey man, I just wanted you to show me what I'm missing. I don't want you to just take a side. It's just, you were on one side. But I have friends that were like legitimately like, nah dude, you got me thinking. it is this way, and I'm the guy.
And I don't care either way. Like, I really don't have. I guess I do have an opinion. I take that back. But our planet rotates around the sun and the moon. Like, how? So does your mom. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, we're going back to like
5th grade,
1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Like, he figured out that the Earth wasn't round. So, like, why are we now in 2017?
Because people now have the technology to go, wait, we should be able to measure or see this stuff.
Do they
ourselves.
have the technology, or do they have the bullshit to make up the technology?
No. Now we have the Zoom to be able to check out this stuff, to be able to zoom in past it. We have all this stuff to be able to go, well, we should be able to see this. Or that's why they stopped the moon landings, because now we have the ability to see the damn moon ourselves. To where they go, oh, we can see them landing on it or not landing. There's no evidence of the landing site other than one grainy-ass picture of the moon landing. Be it round or flat, I still don't believe the moon landing has happened. The more I've looked into it now...
We haven't been there not even once.
If they have, they've never showed us the way they went. If we have, they went with a method, and they never showed us there, and the stuff they showed us was done in the studio because either A, the cameras didn't work past that point, or B, they used technology they don't want to show us. But the funny thing is, we went to the moon, and then in the 70s, they found the Van Allen radiation belt, and they're like, oh, we can't get past that. Good thing we didn't know about that when we went to the moon. Like, usually, you didn't know about it in the 60s, so you got to the moon. Now you know about it, we can't get past here.
But I've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about that. And is he getting paid off?
Shill. If there's anyone that's a shill, it's Neil deGrasse. And I'm of the mind where no matter what, whenever anyone on the media is, hey, this guy needs to save us, he's our answer. And that's what's happened with Neil deGrasse and Bill Nye. If you'll notice, when the Flat Earth thing came into the public eye recently, B.O.B. talking about it, Kyrie Irving talking about it, what happened? Oh, Bill Nye gets his own Netflix show, and what is it? It's him standing on a visibly curved Earth, holding up whatever, and you can see the curve, and there's all this stuff. It's like, is that an indoctrination tactic, or is that because that guy is... He's not a scientist. What
is Bill Nye?
But it's also the latest like bullshit that people can talk about and have their opinions about. Like, I'm not saying that it's bullshit. I'm just saying like there's always
it could be. I'm not taking a side. I'm saying
there's always something that comes up where it's like, okay, this is the hottest topic now.
Yeah.
Like constantly, all the time. And social media perpetuates that, and people perpetuate that, and it's all about like this is the new.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal it because it's my name, but it's the new frenzy. Like it's like the new like this is what we're talking about.
This isn't a new subject. This shit was being talked about back when fucking Columbus was.
No, I know. I get that.
It disappeared for a while. It came back when people
it came back, and
things.
It's literally one of those things where if you go onto Facebook and you type into the search engine and you get the news for the day, like that's one of those things that pops up.
Yeah. But it's interesting that the people that are attacking it, like Forbes, had an article with the eclipse proves the Earth is around. Why would they need to have that out there? Yeah. Why would they casually put that out there? I was watching, so we couldn't see the eclipse here from Minnesota. It was too cloudy. But I was watching with my mom on live stream, it happening all over the country. You can watch it from place to place. One of the questions popped up on the screen from like CNN or whatever live thing was why does the shadow move from west to east when the Earth and the Moon move the opposite direction? Right. And that was a question that popped up because people are asking that. And then they had this guy that popped up and goes, well, it's moving, the Earth moves from east to west, and so does the Moon, and that's why the shadow's going to move from west to east. And the way he even kind of ran through it, I looked at my mom, and my mom goes, what did you just say? Can you play that back? And I went, you heard his reaction. His explanation did not explain how it happens.
Right.
He just said what's happening.
Bullshit.
He just said what's happening, and people go, oh, he's a guy with NASA, he must be right. So it's like, I don't want to be on this side, but the more I've been paying attention to it, the more I'm like, hey, man, I can't take the word of people that were, Nazis first. NASA was started by Nazis, and if you look at the history of Nazis, they had Antarctica in the 40s, and then when we beat them, we started taking the investigation on Antarctica and all this stuff. Now we're in the Cold War in the 50s with the Soviets, but all of a sudden in the 50s, 1953 or something like that, 12 countries, U.S. and the Soviets and 10 others, all signed a treaty on Antarctica. Now, if I hated you and we're against each other, I'm trying to kill you here, but I say, hey, stay out of the next neighbor's house. We'll make an agreement. Neither of us can go there ever. And if you're trying to, are you going to take my word on it? Or are you going to, what? No, what's over there you're trying to hide? I'm going to go. But this is the one treaty that's never been broken, and it happened in the 50s. And then in the 60s, they started this Operation Fishbowl, where they started launching nukes up into the sky. Why they call it an Operation Fishbowl? Is it because they found a fucking dome? That sounds like the title of the thing. So if you listen, if you go, well, where's the edge? Where's the dome? It's like, it sounds like, by historical accuracy, that if they found an edge, they found it in the 40s or 50s, and if they found a dome, they found it in the 60s, and they tried getting through that bitch. And then they started the space race to show people, no, we can get off this planet, we can go other places, you're just an insignificant speck of dust on this little thing, instead of going, you know what, you're your own god on this digital projection and plane, and you can create whatever you want. And either side sounds crazy. The NASA side, where we have infinite space and these giant balls of things flying around, just accepting that as what we've accepted through school sounds batshit crazy.
But NASA,
both sides sound crazy, as crazy as the next.
I get that. It's just that what we know, what we've been told,
right?
It's
what we've grown up learning, is we've been told this for decade after decade after decade. So it's easier to stomach now. I'm not saying either one is right because I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And none of us at this table know.
No.
Sure.
And that's the one thing I like to lean on is the fact that when someone goes, no, I know, it's like, no, the point I'm saying is we don't know.
We don't know. Exactly.
And that's majority of people are defending NASA. And dude, we know. And the one argument I love when people go, dude, I was taught this in 5th grade. I go, yeah, when you thought that Santa Claus is real and Power Rangers was real, when you thought that stuff was an option, that's when you're believing the teachers and this and that. And that teacher knows what? Now that we're old enough to know that the teachers that were teaching us are younger than we are now, and they ain't no shit. They're just reading on the back of a book, and you can't.
Right.
You're not giving any credit to outside thinking.
That's the thing I can appreciate is a conversation without anyone saying, no, you're fucking right, fuck you, I know this. Anyone who says they know definitively on subjects like this,
they don't.
We can't drive past Jupiter and see if it's really there. We'll never do that. We'll never drive to the moon.
You just have to accept what people tell you.
Yep, and that's the whole problem with any of the situations where people fight against each other, get into arguments with each other about what they believe in, is because you believe in something and I don't believe in the same thing as you. Not saying that it's wrong or that I want confrontation, but that's what ultimately happens, is because you don't think the way that I think. Yeah. So fuck you.
Exactly.
You're wrong.
People are too quick to debate and they want to become like their own little fundamentalists.
What happened to like going to an old steakhouse and like having some scotch, a 2-finger of scotch, and like talking about the things that we disagree on?
Here's your frenzy.
Yeah. Why can't we do that anymore? Like, what happened to that?
Simple enough. And Eleanor Roosevelt hit this. Eleanor Roosevelt said, simple minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, wise minds talk about ideas.
Yeah.
You cannot talk about ideas with people. And that's what I've been realizing. My last 2 years of this
flat
Earth world.
Though.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
That's when people go, "You're a flat earther." I'm like, well, here's why I talk about it, is because I like to see the responses and reactions of people as you bring up some of these topics. And some people, a very, very small fraction of people, I bring it up, they don't move any different way. They sit there, they listen, and even if they disagree, they can bring up their points and they can have a conversation. Right. Very small percentage. Yes. The majority, as I bring it up, will first scoff, go, yeah, all right, okay, or then they'll get mad.
They'll basically tune out at that point.
Well, they get mad. They get instantly mad. A Pavlovian response to hearing the words flat earth. People immediately get, dude, there's no way. And then I start going,
it's easy to...
but then you start asking yourself why you feel that way. You go, well, when did I first hear that was stupid? When I was a kid. And then they have the mobiles of the planets and all this stuff we're being taught as kids. And it's just a weird thing. We're taught that people were stupid, and then they got smart, and now we know this. So if you think this, you're stupid. And then immediately people are like, oh, you're dumb. Oh, it's too bad. But it's like, again, the most logical-minded people, unfortunately, are on teams. Like the ones that are like, listen, we're willing to... Neil deGrasse Tyson won't debate this. That's a major red flag. Neil deGrasse Tyson goes, if I tell you an answer and you don't agree with me, well, then we have no conversation.
Yeah, that is a red flag.
That's a major red. And he's the biggest source of information that we have when it comes to space and all this stuff. And then there's an interview with Neil deGrasse going, Earth is actually, it's not a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid. It's actually a little wider in the middle than it is on the top. And it's actually fatter. As Earth settled, it got fatter on the bottom. Well, now, Neil deGrasse, you're saying there's a bottom in space? Wouldn't it be
But
wider
doesn't
towards
it-
the sun?
Doesn't it rotate kind of at an angle?
So that's another interesting point. 23.4 degrees, technically 23.5, but the 23.4 taken off 90 is 66.6. These interesting little numbers that always seem to pop up. Yeah. So it's either 23.4
You're such a nerd.
or 23.5. No, this is also, I'm just repeating stuff I've seen other conspiracy theories where I'm like, that's interesting. But then Neil deGrasse says it's wider in the middle, fatter in the bottom, and it's like, well, does that mean that there's a bottom in space, or is it fatter towards the sun? What's the bottom, technically, of the Earth?
Right.
Okay. And then the guy interviews him, goes, well, why is that? And Neil says, in this very condescending tone, because as Earth's cooling, it was like pizza dough. And the way he says, because. So now you got an average individual that likes Neil deGrasse, that takes everything he says as word, and then you go, hey, man, do you know that the Earth is this? Why is that? And the person that's repeating Neil deGrasse goes, dude, because. And you have a little more confidence, a little more aggression, because, dude, the smart guy knows, and you're dumb for not knowing. Here's why. And that's the induction. So people go, oh, there's no way the Freemasons are a thing. There's a drinking club. There's a beer drinking club. You go, yeah, if I was a secret society, I would have thousands of non-members that thought they were members, that all they did was drink beer. So as they went out to the public, they went, nah, dude, because they're going to talk.
Yeah.
You know they're too dumb. They're going to talk. So here's the interesting point with NASA and the space station and all this, where it connects personally to me, because a couple of years ago when I first started looking into this theory, and the only reason we're on this theory is to prove that law of attraction is a thing or not. That's how we got. But so I'm looking into all this stuff. I'm looking at the space station. My mom comes past and she's like walking on the computer. She goes, well, you know, your stepsister worked for NASA, right? I'm like, well, yeah, I know that. She goes, do you know what she did? She talked directly with people in the space station. That's interesting. But not for the reason that my mom thought it'd be interesting for me. What I know about my stepsister is she wants to be a professional student. She wants to be a studious. She likes the admiration she gets for being right about things. She wants to be. She was that smart, nerdy kid in school. She was the person that she's not asking any questions. She's memorizing what you told her, and she's able to repeat it back.
Nerd.
Absolutely. So now you hire a bunch of these people as NASA. You have them in communications with the space station, so they think.
But they don't have any thinking on their own.
Even if they do, you kick them out. If that person
Right.
starts asking questions, you kick them out. So the majority of people don't want to rock the boat. They're just happy they got this job.
Yeah.
And she took this job knowing it was temporary. It's a temporary job. Why do you need to have a temporary position of people that speak to the space station? Is it so you can then let them go and have them go, dude, I was talking to the space station. It's a thing. And this person goes, oh, I love my sister. She would never lie to me. She doesn't think she's lying.
How temporary?
A year.
Okay.
I think NASA
you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's what they do, but you could.
Well,
I think NASA has this weird kind of like perception of whatever they tell us as a public, whatever's going on. We have to believe what they're saying, and we're just going to be like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" Whatever.
I mean,
they're the authority on fucking space travel.
They're the shit,
NASA.
you know. Like NASA is. I feel like NASA is more kind of, I don't know, makes us more.
All these NASA shirts around. I mean, there's NASA shirts.
Yeah,
Everyone's wearing NASA shirts.
NASA is more. I feel like NASA is more impressionable than our fucking own, like presidency or our own country. Like it's crazy.
Isn't it weird? Their logo looks like a snake tongue too, like this snaky serpenty the tongue.
We should see. You should message NASA and see if we can get them to sponsor this podcast.
They need to give us some T-shirts, but it's
talk to Target for those. Those are at Target. It's weird.
It's definitely like this weird thing because I feel like I don't. What I used to think about NASA when I was a kid, like watching the Challenger whole situation happen. I remember them rolling the TV on the TV stand.
All those people are still
apparently they're
probably alive.
They're still alive.
There's doppelgangers at least.
Yeah,
but
Michael
12
K.
of the
Smith
13 of them.
is
they're all
a
teachers.
Professor.
Yeah, they're all teachers.
College, right?
Yeah,
I don't believe that shit.
The pictures are pretty.
There's also Photoshop.
Photoshop is pretty fucking efficient.
And I get it, like, and that's fine. But like, what's the whole point of it? Like, what would be the whole point of faking the Challenger explosion?
Control.
We want to be more invested in the space program.
No.
Who fucking gives a shit?
Because it puts that seed in your head that shit, that's something I either have to be a rocket scientist to be able to leave this planet, or B, it happened. So you look at there's only 2 civilian space programs that have ever existed.
Right.
One is Richard Branson. The other is Elon Musk. What have happened with both of those? Richard Branson gave up on his because he blew his ship up. Elon Musk has had his ship blown up, but he didn't quit, but he's still going on. But it puts that seed in the head of, yeah, this is dangerous. Yeah, you and I ain't going to do it. We have to take these words on these other people. And it just really...
Like a lot of work.
But I also feel like the Challenger situation was very, very, very geared towards students and schools because of Krista, the teacher, and all that stuff. Like I literally remember watching that shit happen in school, and I was I'm still traumatized about it to this day. But
people watch 9/11 doesn't mean it happened the official way they told us it did. You know, like Building 7 still fell down, and they didn't put that in the official story.
But you
they left that out.
But you think about the Challenger situation and what the technology was as far as recording stuff. We didn't have smartphones back then.
Right.
We didn't have all that stuff. Like how. It's just
9/11
different.
being a inside job makes way more sense than blowing up the Challenger.
Right, because there's
people
no
believe
so
that.
you're gonna blow up the Challenger.
You've seen these people?
Yeah, you're gonna blow up the Challenger, and then you're just gonna have them all survive and go live separate lives by themselves. Like, what the fuck is the point in that? Like, it's just ridiculous.
It's so spot on. No, you have the same kind of thing. Like, it just puts that seed in the mind that, oh, that's a thing, that's a real thing, that's a, you know.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's Photoshop.
That's not Photoshop.
It could be.
It could be, but
it could be. You can't say that it is. You can't say that it's not.
I'm not saying for sure it's not, but look at the faces. They're pretty spot on.
Yeah, there's
you can't say that it's not. You can't say that it is, but when you got a guy
this one guy right there, that guy, like, you can't get that guy. Look at that guy. He looks the same, exactly the same, perfectly aged. That's not Photoshop.
And I love talking about this shit.
He could have a twin brother.
He could. They all have twins. They all have twins.
How do they all have fucking twins then? That's super fucking...
Exactly. That's the point, is why people are questioning, because they're going, oh, it'd be impossible for them all to have twins that are all perfectly age progressed.
Oh my God.
That's the thing. Like, I love talking about this shit. I love
this old guy. I
love being able to actually have a conversation, you know, and not a debate. Because
like I'm not having a debate.
This lady. That's pretty spot on.
That's the teacher.
Yeah, she's still alive.
She's rich as fuck.
Still alive. So this is my thing when conspiracy theories in general, Asian guy, look at how dead on is that guy.
They all look the same.
Yeah, right? So my favorite conspiracy theory, when my favorite point to bring up about conspiracy theories in general is Sandy Hook. So people will say, no, this is where
that's good.
So where I go with this is immediately you hear this and you go, there's an emotional heartstring that was plucked. Children died. Parents lost their kids. That's the saddest thing in the world. So we can't question it because people are sad. So that's a red flag when people go like, well, people died, they lost their lives, you can't question things. But I lean on the conspiracy theories where the question I bring up is when people go, dude, you're saying that why would someone lie about their kids dying? Why would this and that happen? Absolutely. Well, I lean on the fact that I go, wouldn't you rather the storyline be... yeah, sure. Wouldn't you rather the storyline be that people lied about children dying instead of the fact that children actually died? Wouldn't you want that to be a provable fact? So people can go, hey, look at this evidence. It looks like the shooting never happened. Wouldn't you want to go, oh, so kids didn't die? Let's look into this. But instead people go, no, kids died. I refuse to look into that because that disrespects the death. And it's like, well, that's an interesting
But then
point.
you got to start worrying about, okay, these parents that are willing to take some kind of...
How do we know they're parents? How do we know? We only know because they told us.
Parents had to be in on it.
We don't know that they're actually parents. We don't know for sure. That's my thing. I'm not saying for sure.
Possibly these kids aren't even actual children
of these people.
Students.
We don't know. Students. We don't know. And then you'll always hear someone goes, dude, I know what happened because I met a parent.
Why?
Control. You get people fearful. You get people restrictive. You know, you get more gun laws. And you get this other stuff where people in the Midwest see this stuff and they go, oh my God, danger's happening. I'm willing to sign this thing that says we're willing to vote for more cops on the streets because we don't want this to happen here first. Now it's happening there. Let's protect us before it happens out here.
I get it.
And then people give away their freedoms. They sign away their freedoms without actually knowing, and then freedom's just gone. Freedom's gone.
Because I absolutely believe the government and the people that are really pulling the strings in this country, I believe that they are pulling strings and they're doing devious things behind the scenes. But to what point? I mean, to what extent? Do you really think we're going? It's hard. It's just hard for me to fathom. And this is just a conversation.
Yeah.
I love talking about this stuff and getting people's insight on things. But like, do you really think that they're gonna go that far to like stage a school shooting just to try to meld some kind of control in some certain aspect? Like, it seems pointless, really.
Doesn't seem really? It seems like control. It seems like the easiest way to get people fearful, letting their guard down in the sense of we need someone to protect us. We need someone else's help. We are victims. We know what it would be like to lose our kids. Therefore, we can't question these other people. We can't question. And now all of a sudden you got, maybe not immediately, but in the back of your head, you're going, more gun restriction, more this and that. Let's give up our freedoms. Let's sign this bill because we don't want this to happen. The most interesting point that I heard, and I listened to different things. So when Pulse nightclub happened, now I don't want to go down the conspiracy route of Pulse in Orlando. So now that when that first happened, there's people that were going online going, you can't prove that place was even open for the last 2 years. It says it closed via their permits and this and that. So there's a conspiracy there. They go, that place wasn't even open. So, and then people pulled up the floor plans and they pulled up the bathroom and all that stuff. They said there was this number of people hiding in this area, and they're pulling floor plans going, how did they fit in here? And how did the shooters go in there and take everyone out? How does this make any sense? So the point that stuck out to me was the one part of the newscast that said, and again, I listen for emotion. I listen to whatever a newscast implements emotion to make you go, oh man, that would suck. Yeah. And that's what a lot of the newscasts do, because the second you say that, your subconscious now takes part of that, your belief, man, that would suck, and you don't even question anything else. It's, you start feeling for that person. So the thing about the Pulse nightclub was when they said, so many of these people were in here, and they didn't have IDs, and we couldn't tell who was who, and then we're walking through, and we're just hearing cell phones ringing. Probably the parents are calling to see if their loved ones are still alive, and you just hear this, you're like, oh man, that sounds like it sucks. But the one part that stuck out was we couldn't tell who was who. We needed to identify these people. Mm-hmm. Now we'll go back to 9/11. 9/11 happened. The storyline comes out that we need to start microchipping people so we can tell the terrorists from the non. There's actually a family in 2002 that's on the news saying, we want to get microchipped to make this not ever an issue again. So now you have the Pulse nightclub thing, and you go, people were laying there unidentifiable, families are nervous, families are worried. So now you have the seed planted for why you might want the chip. So why you might want identification. So now here's where the big picture, this gets a big picture. So now there's already a company in Wisconsin that's microchipping people.
I saw that.
Right. So now...
And people are like celebrating.
Yes.
They're wearing fucking t-shirts saying, I got chipped.
In 2008, 2009, I started watching... 2007, 2008 is when I really started waking up into things. 2006 is when I first saw the Joe Rogan. So I guess that's when I woke up. 2008, 2009 is when I really started getting the conspiracy theories, listening to stuff, Ron Paul, all this stuff. Like, I was really behind Ron Paul. And he's saying, watch out. The feds are trying to chip everyone, and they're going to start with these state ID cards. And they wanted to have these state ID cards that had microchips in them, and they got shot down by these states. Shot down. The state ID cards got shot down. However, 4 states said, we'll put the microchips in. Those 4 states were North Carolina, Texas, Arizona, and Washington. I lived in North Carolina at the time, and I had a brand new license. And I went, wait a minute, what? They said my license had a chip in it, and sure enough, they said the chipped ID cards have a hologram on the back. So I'm like, looking, I got a hologram. So I watched the video that said, hey, put it in the microwave, 4 seconds, no longer, no less. Put it in there. This line will come right at this point. That's the chip frying. I put it in there 4 seconds. Line, exactly what they said was going to happen. Cool. I moved to Washington. That's another state that has them. Well, what's their logistics for putting chips in the driver's license? It's called an enhanced ID, because you're going to need to go to Canada. And you might not want to bring your passport, so the passport has a chip in it. You're already okay with that. We'll just put that chip in these enhanced IDs you pay a little bit extra for, and now you can go to Canada whenever all you need is your license. Arizona, Texas, same thing, border states. North Carolina was one of the only ones that went, we're going to put it anyways, fuck them. So the only 4 states have agreed on these chips. The chip back then was being taught as like the mark of the beast, the this and that. Well, now this, and I started saying back then, it's going to turn into a thing where it's going to be a mandated thing. It's going to be a thing where eventually it's going to be a brain chip. It's going to be a chip that's going to be
or in your fucking arm.
That's where they start. They start there, but it's going to be a brain chip. It's going to be an actual implant. And Intel in 2009 said they want to do a brain chip. And now I worked at some events like I forget the name of it's a game expo thing in Seattle. I forget the name of it. But they had these people were walking around with these cat ears. And the cat ear thing had a probe that was hooked to their earlobe and another thing touching right here. And if, like I said your name, hey, Sarge, you turn your ears like, what? Because it would react off your mind. Yeah, so they're working on neurological probes already, and they're putting it out there in the idea of games. So where I started saying this is going to be an issue is in the sense of there's going to be a time when people go completely brain chip of how they watch TV shows.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to be like now we look at the box, we look at this. So when we grew up, we had the cord on the wall. We had to walk around the thing. So now kids are going to be talking about these things as if we're talking about the cord on the wall. So they're going to be going, we had these boxes we had to hold in our thing and look at. Everyone had to look at one side of this box.
Yeah.
When eventually their generations, they have a hologram right in front of us where we see everything right here. Like that's the only progression we go to something crazier than where we're at now.
Right.
And the only way we're going to have that is to have a brain chip. So they're going to have these certain TV shows. The next generation of TV is going to be on the chip. Now what happens if you're someone like myself, and to this day and age goes, I've never seen Game of Thrones. People go, what? You've never seen Game of Thrones? If you walk into somebody's house and they don't have a TV, they're a crazy person. If they don't have a cell phone, they're crazy.
They are.
So now all this stuff tiled into one. Where you have the brain chip. You have the idea that if someone doesn't have a TV or a cell phone, they're a crazy person. So now you have someone that goes, I don't want a chip. They go, well, you can't watch the same shows we watch. Well, I don't watch this stuff. Well, you're crazy. And then I've started reverting it to an even crazier degree of, right now I'm all natural. I'm of nature. I don't want a chip because that makes me not of nature, not of what I'm created. Therefore, if you killed me now, if I died now, my consciousness goes into the ether that I'm from. But if I have a brain chip and I die, now my consciousness is stuck with you guys. I don't want that. I'm all natural right now. I don't want that chip. And then you might have someone that says, I have the chip. Wait a minute, you're saying you're better than me because you don't have the chip? Wait a minute, you're saying if we killed you, you're going to be reincarnated into something else and you're a better... Let's see if this guy's right. Let's kill the dummy. And now you go to the story of Jesus, who says, I'm the Son of God. You can kill me, I'll be resurrected. It'll be all right. And they go, crucify him. Get rid of him.
He's a witch.
Yeah. So now you have this whole society that's leaning towards taking this stuff, this advancement, this televised stuff, taking everyone's... So I looked at it.
Because people have turned into lemurs. They've turned into whatever
it's just too easy.
You say is right.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion of my own.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing the research to figure it out.
Yeah.
Someday...
I'm just going to say, okay,
and
cool.
And that's...
Whenever you post on Instagram, Facebook, I'm going to follow you.
That's why I started questioning Flat Earth. I started going, if it was that ridiculous, it should be that easy to disprove.
Right.
And it's not.
So someday
it's unfortunately not. Where the people that are on side of it are the side that they're crazy. And, yeah, it just turns into this whole thing of like, no. And there's a quote from this movie Zeitgeist that first got me questioning everything.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, it's debunkable. Even still, there's some great quotes. And there's one guy named Gerald Massey. I don't know who he is or why he said this, but what he said was, they must find it difficult. Those who take authority as truth rather than truth as authority. It's like, isn't that what we're doing now as a society? Aren't we taking authority as the truth? Instead of going, wait a minute, I can see that the North Star has never moved in my lifetime or in any measurable time frame, and if what we're told about the heliocentric model is true, that thing should have moved. And then someone else comes in and tells you why it didn't happen, and you're going, oh, I'll take your word on it as opposed to my own vision of what you taught. Okay, yeah. So it seems like that's what we're gearing towards, is this whole, like, the outside-box thinkers, the whole idiocracy mentality, the whole, like, you say the wrong thing. Like I said, that liberal protest earlier where the guy was just saying he wanted to have a conversation, and people, because he was questioning them, started yelling at him, cussing him out. All he was doing was just raising the question, why do you guys have this side? It's not saying I'm against you guys, but they heard it as that because it's either us or them.
Exactly.
We're raised up in this society of my team's the best or not, and this or that, or this or that's black or white. We're not raised up to believe in mystery. We're not raised up to believe in wonder. And
we're that you have.
Yeah.
Have your opinion,
yeah.
We're
We're
come from a country that we have freedom of speech. things that were supposedly
Well, the thing is, and this is something I noticed when I was in the Army, was that the military in the U.S. is very good at putting on a show. It's very important that we look pretty all the time, and that, and I thought it was ridiculous when I was overseas. You know, I served in Iraq and Kuwait, and I thought it was dumb how important it was to the military complex that we always put on a front. You know, we always put on like this show, this song and dance. No matter where we are, we had to always be in perfect uniform. We had to abide by these certain bullshit rules in a lot of ways. You know, and some of the rules make sense, you know, for tactical advantages and whatnot, but some of it is just downright ridiculous. And it's all about looking pretty to the rest of the world. It's like, we're in a fucking war zone. Why the fuck do you care about how I look right now? As long as I'm wearing the correct gear to protect me from bullets and shrapnel, why the fuck do you care about how pretty we look? You know? And it's a song and dance. We're the captain of the football team of this world. You know, everyone wants to be us, but everyone fucking hates us at the same time. You know what I mean? But it's, I don't know. Have you seen? It reminds me like what you were talking about before, and I can't remember if it was. I want to say it was that Onion movie. You remember that movie that the Onion put out a while back? It was probably at least 5-6 years ago. And you know what the Onion is, right? They put out this movie that was full of different funny skits and stuff, the kind of shit you see on their website. And they had this video where I'm pretty sure it was the Onion, where there was a guy who called in to order a pizza, right? He called in to order delivery, and the chick taking his order, it went through this whole thing where he's like, yeah, I'd like a extra large sausage and extra cheese pizza and stuff, and she's like, oh, well, according to your readouts or whatever, your cholesterol is high this month, and blah blah blah. So we're gonna have to like X-nay the cheese on your pizza, blah blah blah. And there's all these things where it got to the point where technology was at the point where they could Exactly. They could tell, like, oh, these are what your cholesterol levels are. This is where your blood pressure is at. This is this and this. So you're not allowed to order this because it's too unhealthy for you. And he's like, it got to the point where he's like, okay, well, I'll fucking just cancel my order then. Like, this is the clip I'm talking about. It's not from the Onion movie. It's from the ACLU.
Pizza Palace, guaranteed hot in 30 minutes or it's free. This is Mary. May I take your order?
Hi, Mary. Yes, I'd like to order.
Is this Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you for calling again, sir. I show your national identification number is 610-204-999-8-45-54610. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. I see you live at 736 Montrose Court, but you're calling from your cell phone. Are you at home?
I'm just leaving work, but I'm...
Oh, we can deliver to Bob's Auto Supply. That's at 175 Lincoln Avenue, yes?
No, I'm on my way home. How do you know all this stuff?
We just got wired into the system, sir.
Oh, well, I'd like to order a couple of your double meat special pizzas.
Sure thing. There'll be a new $20 charge for those, sir.
What do you mean?
Sir, the system shows me that your medical records indicate that you have high blood pressure and extremely high cholesterol. Luckily, we have a new agreement with your national health care provider that allows us to sell you double meat pies as long as you agree to waive all future claims of liability.
What?
Do you agree, sir? You can sign the form when we deliver, but there is a charge for processing. The total is $67 even.
$67?
Well, that includes the delivery surcharge of $15 to cover the added risk to our driver of traveling through an orange zone.
I live in an orange zone?
Now you do. Looks like there was another robbery on Montrose yesterday. You could save $48 if you ordered our special Sprout Submarine Combo and picked it up yourself. Comes with tofu sticks. Those are very tasty, sir. Good value, too.
But I want double meat.
Well, I'm sure you can afford the $67 then. You just bought those tickets to Hawaii. They weren't cheap, eh? Oh, but I see you checked out the budget beach bum at the library last week. Up to you, sir.
All right. I'll get the Sprout subs.
Good choice, sir. Gotta watch that waist if you're hitting the beach, eh? 42 inches. Wow. Man, I'd say tofu and sprouts is, like, required.
That's how much?
Just between you and me, there's a $3 off coupon in this month's Total Men's Fitness magazine. Your wife Betty subscribes to that, right? Anyhow, clip that and it's $19.99 even. Whoa, looks like you maxed out on all your credit cards. Bring cash, okay?
Want to stop this from happening?
You know, in shows like on Netflix, like the Black Mirror.
Oh,
Black Mirror.
I've never seen it, but I've said things that people go, "Oh, you've seen that episode of Black Mirror where they do that?" I go, "No."
Yeah.
I just had that thought on my own. Like one of them, and this is again, I've never seen the show ever. One of my thoughts that I had a while ago is we should abolish money and go strictly off like things like Facebook likes, like internet reputation points, and like.
That's the one with Ron Howard's daughter.
Again, never seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen it. Never seen it. But I had the idea that because you're on a message board and someone likes what you say and they give you rep points or whatever the case.
Right.
So it's like if we lived in a society where there's exponential things available to us, the food exists, this exists, the stuff exists. So if you're in a category. And I personally have broken it down. If someone says, "How would you fix the world?" I got the answer. I've broken it into 4 categories: the A, B, C, and D's. And if you're a D level, well, that means you can walk into any store and grab whatever's in the D level section. And for D level people, that'd be like bread, water, jelly, base level shit.
What makes you D level?
Because you don't have enough rep points. You haven't helped enough people. You haven't had enough people saying you're a good person. So if I want to up my level. Well, now I go paint a fence. I go help someone with their car, and then they give me rep points. And the more rep points I have, now I have access to this shit. But here's the question is, if you take too much of what you need, now you're responsible for getting rid of it. So people wouldn't be stealing shit. People wouldn't be taking more than they need. Because now, if you have more stuff than you need, and you have to throw more stuff away, you lose rep points. And you're causing waste. So then people will start balancing that shit.
But how do you account for the douchebag trolls out
there?
Yeah,
those
because
people.
There's plenty of people out there that be like, "Fuck this guy. I don't like the way he looks. I'm gonna give him 1 star."
Sure.
The whole aspect of the Black Mirror, that episode that you're talking about,
with Bryce Dallas Howard, where it's all about like the 5-star rating. Personal ratings.
I don't think
it's not about the person that they are.
Yeah.
Which I agree with you. Like that's what it should be.
It's too.
So that just proves, and again,
how shallow people are.
How no matter what, people are always going to judge. So when people go, we need to abolish racism, it's like you can't. Right. You can't, because I used to love, and I still do to a point, the Insane Clown Posse. As a group, as I growing up in high school, I listened to them. I listened to them because I would hear the message behind what they were saying. People were like, "Oh, they're always this grotesque."
They get some badass songs. They're weird as fuck, but they got some songs that I actually enjoy.
There's a lyric where they say where I'm gonna pluck out everyone's eyes, so now you can only judge me based on my size, or however they word it. Like, fuck it, everyone's blue. Now what are all you bigots gonna do? Like, if everyone's blue, now you can't judge me on the color of my skin. Well, now I'm gonna judge you on your size. So there's always gonna be something you're gonna judge me on because I'm different than you. Because we're always told we're this or that. We're restrictive. So where I think that where you said there's always be some troll down-rating people. Mm-hmm. At first, sure. But once people realize that the system works and that you don't have to be restrictive to help other... So but the fact of you having doesn't mean I can't have. The fact that you succeed doesn't mean I can't succeed. But that's what we're taught. We're taught that you getting something means that's not mine.
You can't help me or I can't
right.
help you.
So I think that eventually wash its way out when people realize the system works. All you have to do is be nice, be kind, and you're rewarded based on that. And that holding people back does nothing for you. And that's what happens. And yes, and it absolutely it would. And it's never going to be that case. But I think the more, and this is why I do comedy. This is the whole reason is to take away people's worries, to get people thinking a little bit differently. And if even one person starts treating like I look at all the stuff that's happening, 100% of the case. And if you look at what's happening in the world today, you and I and all of us, we can go out about our day, and we're not seeing the negativity that the news is telling us we're seeing.
Right.
We don't interpret that at all. Call it maybe with 3 white people with white privilege, maybe. But I know a lot of black. I lived in the South for a while. I talked to a lot of people of ethnicity, a lot of people of color. Where they don't interpret that. I met a girl not long ago, and this is a little weird. She was from New York, comes to California, met on Tinder, and
Does she love Little Caesars pizza?
So the first night. We hook up right away. It was strictly a hookup thing. And I walk in her place. It was immediately off the bat. I started making out and all this other stuff. The next day, I get there a little earlier. She's still working on the computer. And I show up, and it wasn't the same intro that we had the day before. It was me kind of just sitting there waiting for it to be done. And then she wraps up her stuff, and she starts asking me about the election and stuff like that, and like how my feelings are. I'm like,
Oh, shit.
Well, I'm not going to lie to someone. So I want to tell you, I think it's all an emotional ploy to get people reactionary and distracted. And she starts going on how Trump's evil and racist and all this stuff. She's an Indian girl. Lived in New York, now in California, and going back and forth. So I asked her, I said, sincerely, tell me this. Have you experienced this kind of prejudice? Since he's been elected, have you had people yell in your face and telling you the stuff that you're telling me? And she says, well, no, because I live in liberal states, but this happens. And I'm going, whoa, whoa, whoa. So now you're putting an emotion out there that you've never experienced, I've never experienced, and now we made this a reality now.
Yeah,
and
experiences that you've never
continually feed off of
the best part about it was then she followed up with, well, yeah, but he also says things like grab women by the pussy, and I go, that's what I did to you yesterday when I walked in. That's how I greeted you yesterday, and you were fine with that. You invited me over another day.
Yep.
So why are you mad about this now? Because people want to have a reason to be mad. They want to have a reason to find a victim.
Yes.
They want to find a reason
Yes.
the general, how she wanted to put her brain is she wanted to be a victim. She wanted to find a reason to be mad about something. Yeah, but that's the majority. And the majority, misery loves company. All this victim stuff, they find each other and they go, no, 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 you're a victim, I agree. And you can't have an opposing viewpoint. I wish that was the case. I wish that people could sit back and say, you know what, I have a sense of humor about my situation, and this is funny because blank. I lived in my car for 2 years. I never was a victim. I was never a victim. And people that found out were like, you live in your car? I'd never be able to tell. I go, because...
Craigslist, like, here, there's an apartment you should
yeah. I'm just like, yeah. I was never a victim. I knew things would work out. I think there's the sleeping and there's the non, and the people that are sleeping are easily the people that could easily be hypnotized to believe a certain thing, and the majority of people that are paying attention to the media, to the masses, are a sleeping, hypnotized state where they're reactionary. They're doing stuff based off what they're told to react to, not what they instinctually would react to. Oh, your neighbor just said the word poop. Now you have to buck like a chicken. So now people are doing that.
Like, you still get to be your own person.
Yeah.
Have your own opinions and have your own shit.
Again, the thing, I am the Lord, the God. I have no other God before me.
Right.
So,
and you might have to fight for it a little bit more harder than you had to in the past, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You believe in what you think.
There's an Ollie G quote. I forget his real name, but the guy that plays Ollie G, and he's doing this quote as Ollie G, and the quote is, in my experience with video games, you encounter enemies when you're going the right direction. And so that one quote is like, yeah, if you're playing Mario, you only encounter the bad guys when you're going the right way. If you go backwards, they're not there no more. They're gone.
Shit's deep.
So now, like, you go in life and you start hitting haters. You start hitting people say you're going the wrong way. You're going this and that. It's like, oh, no. You're the crabs trying to hold me down. You're this and that. And that's going back to the whole point of the thing with the whole comedy and living the life. It's like jumping off the cliff and just knowing that, in my belief, and it really does seem like a simulation we're all co-creating, and if the masses believe in the negative, then the negative will happen. If the masses believe in the positive will happen, and the majority right now believe in the negative, and we're witnessing it happen. So what I do is I step back and I go, if I was watching a movie right now, this would be awesome. If this is a movie, no matter what the ending is, this movie is dope. Yeah. I try looking at it from a different aspect, different angle, a non-victimized, a non-upset, a man, I'm the one being attacked. Just a fun, if someone says something bad that happened, it's like, oh, that's fun. Oh, cool. You start looking at that life, and then more cool shit happens, more fun shit,
right.
All that negative stuff doesn't really become an issue.
Well, and you look at, like, Shakespeare and all the shit he used to say. You look
Nothing's
at
right.
All great truths begin as
I think you're muted.
Nothing's wrong or right, but thinking makes it so. You might be muted this whole time.
Yep,
Fuck,
probably.
I've been muted this whole time.
I was muted for a while too. I'm gonna have to do some magic with fucking editing of this episode.
But George Bernard Shaw
fucked up.
said all great truths begin as blasphemies. Like, that is like, he basically was saying, like, I don't give a fuck about what anybody else says. I'm just gonna...
All great truths begin as blasphemies. Yeah. Damn right. That makes a lot of sense.
And he's an old motherfucker.
They do.
Like, that is, like, from back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, this is a continuing thing that's gonna happen until the planet blows up, essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
anytime... If that's a thing that can happen.
Anytime some kind of truth comes out of the woodwork that people never believed or were made aware of, it is looked at as blasphemy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right, but I also just urge people to if you're going to have you can think about what you want to think about, but if you're going to have a super strong opinion where you're going to be like balls to the walls, like crazy about what you believe in, research it, have some kind of backing behind it, and whether or not it's true or not, I mean, fact or fiction, you can't always prove it, but at least just have some backing behind you.
And most of the time, you're not going to be able to prove it.
You're probably not going
because
to.
We're not, like Darrin said earlier, we're not going to be able to get into a fucking spaceship and fly into outer space and check out whether what they're telling us is real or not.
You're not going to be able to, but at least
you don't have to blindly just agree to everything.
Exactly. Don't blindly agree.
Is that a real picture?
And if someone
else looks pretty fucking amazing for it to be real.
Yeah.
Now people are sharing this as an official NASA picture, and I don't know if it is or not. But I go, well, if that's the case, then how fucking big is the moon, and how close is it to Earth?
Right.
But people don't even question that. Majority of people will go, that's an amazing picture, real or fake. They don't care.
The moon's not as big as the sun.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, is do your research.
Right.
Believe in the things and follow the things and think about the things, but, like, have your own, like, brain.
Yeah, be able to ask questions.
Interject in that, ask questions.
Yeah.
And don't have it be this whole thing, too, where if I don't agree with you, like, you're an asshole, and I will never want to talk to you again. And now we have to hate each other.
People need to stop
you get to think how you feel, and I get to think how I feel.
Yeah.
People need to stop acting like they have all the fucking answers.
Right.
Because they absolutely don't. Like, we're probably dumber. We're probably, as a society and as people,
you know what
especially as Americans, we're the dumbest we've probably ever been in our entire lifetime. Honestly. Like, we're fucking stupid.
In a way,
we are stupid right now.
In a way, we're dumber and we're smarter than we've ever been.
The people that are celebrities...
Technology makes us smarter.
Yeah, the fact that, and that's the thing that Joe Rogan said about his thing, like, and in 2006 or whatever, he had a special where he talked about, like, I use a microphone every day, but I don't know how it works. Like, this is loud. What makes it loud? Loud shit.
Exactly.
We have this stuff, and we go, we know how to use, we can repeat
I can pull up my phone and record shit and
Joe
look
Rogan
up stuff.
said,
we can repeat what smart people said, but we can't do it, but we think we're smart.
He said if the lights go out and the apocalypse happens and you're in the middle of the desert, how long before you can send me an email?
Yeah.
How long before you figure out how to
I don't need to send you a fucking email. I'm going to survive by living off the
land.
land.
It's the idea that this connection of this stuff
there's so many people out there who don't know how all the shit we use every day actually works.
Yeah, but they think they do because they use it.
Right, but the last thing that I'm going to care about when the apocalypse happens is connecting with people via the internet.
Right,
sure.
But no, what he's saying is that there's only a select few people who have created all the technology and shit that we enjoy as normal people on a daily basis, like our fucking smartphones. Like, so if the lights go out someday and the apocalypse happens...
They are going to, not someday, they will.
And we have no technology anymore, we're back down to the basics. How long before average Joe like me is able to figure out how emails work and create a smartphone again, create that technology, and be able to send you an email?
Well,
it's not going to happen. I'm not going to figure it out.
I think that they had that shit on Mars before, and Mars.
I love the meme.
There's evidence that there's a hydrogen bomb that blew up on Mars.
Was it hydrogen?
That is similar to the hydrogen bomb that we blew off in Japan.
Sam Tripoli was on last night, and he was talking about he just dropped last night before he came on with us. He dropped an episode.
There's been nuclear war on Mars.
Have you heard this quote here? It's this quote that popped up recently. What if Mars has water on it because humans used to live there, but then we messed up the climate so badly that we had to send an escape pod to Earth with only Adam and Eve in it?
Yeah, and now we're fucking doing the same exact shit to Earth.
I've seen that meme, and then the thing on the he goes, "You stop it!" Just like, we're
doing the same exact shit.
We don't know. Thing. So Adam and Eve, right?
Because
they're the first two people, right? They're the first two people.
They're supposedly the first two people.
So their kids were fucking to increase the population, right? There's only two people on the planet, right? You got Adam
and Eve, and they have a kid.
They had two sons.
Yeah.
And then they had some daughters. So the brother had to fuck the sister to make some more babies.
I'm not super into the religious part of it.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that
in the Bible, all it says is like, oh yeah, Cain or Abel.
Yeah, but you're talking about religion. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about intelligent life
of our society, supposedly. So you think we may have came from Mars? Human life originated on Mars?
Possibly.
I can't say that it didn't because I don't fucking know. That's the thing. That's the beauty of these conversations.
I don't have any.
None of us fucking know.
We don't know.
But the fun is talking about it, and that's the thing, talking about it. But if Adam and Eve were a real thing, if there were only two people starting out this whole fucking thing,
incest.
It was fucking full of incest because that's the only way it could work. They had some kids, and then those kids were fucking each other to make more people. Because all it says in the Bible is that Cain or Abel or whatever married some woman from a neighboring tribe. Where did this fucking neighboring tribe come from?
I'm not saying that Mars had people on them. They could have had aliens on them. There's nuclear isotopes on Mars.
We're told.
In this atmosphere.
What's an isotope?
We're told.
What's an isotope?
I don't know.
See, you hear this stuff and we hear it and we go, oh yeah.
That sounds official.
Here's my thing. I bring it to in my act and all this stuff. I say this. I go, we cannot. They won't allow wonder. Right, like they can't teach wonder in school. No. So the idea
that you can't be a dreamer.
So now promotes free thinking. That promotes questions.
Now think of this. We teach people that. So based on official NASA collegiate school taught numbers, we teach people the Earth is 4,000 miles to the center, roughly a little bit less than 4,000 miles to the center.
From the surface.
From the surface to the center. Okay. And we can all visualize the cutaway image. That shows the core, the mantle, the outer mantle, the crust. We can all visualize that. The yellow, the orange, the brown, all that stuff. I'll visualize it in a second. So we go, and I feel weird saying this because it all ties in my act, but it is a point where I go, we must have dug pretty deep in this if we can teach kids what the center is made out of, and then all this other stuff, and how deep they are, we must have gone pretty fucking deep into this Earth. And when you look into it, the deepest we've ever dug as a human race ever was the Russians, and it was 8 miles. And you go, all right.
And what's 8 miles? What is that?
12 kilometers. I don't know how. It's still in the crust. The deepest ocean is 7 miles. The Mariana Trench is 7 miles deep. So you go like the deepest we know and we can prove into this earth without a shadow of a doubt. The deepest we can prove in the shadow of this earth, without a shadow of a doubt, in this earth is 8 miles. And in my act, I go, they're guessing for 3,992 miles.
Right.
But we're like, oh, no. They must have a reason for that. And when you ask people, and I've asked people about this exact topic, how do you think they came up with this? Radio waves? And they go, oh, no. It's all because of the weight and how fast things move and this and that. Yeah, again, all based on theory because we can't actually drive there and prove it. So you're all backtracking these numbers based off what you think should be the case. But in fact, and you go to the observatories, Griffith Observatory in L.A., I go there a lot. Just try to not go, hey, man, flat Earth, what do you guys think about it? But just to ask people genuine questions about, like, hey, man, how would this picture have happened? How would this have been a thing? How would this have gone to here? How is this happening? And they can't answer you these things. And they're like, yeah, I don't know either. And it just gets really interesting when you go like, so how do we know? So you're telling us the center of this Earth is made of this, and then they show you what the center of the Mars is made of. They show you what the center of Jupiter is made of. They show you all these things are made of. And you go, how do you know?
Yeah, there's no
you're just giving answers because you can't leave wonder there.
Right.
You can't go, dude, we don't know. We're still figuring that out. If you taught kids in school that, dude, we still don't know what the middle of the Earth is made out of, how many kids would listen to their teachers?
Yeah.
Or how many people would go, I'm going to be the discoverer. I'm leaving school right now. I'm going to do it right now. If you taught someone that, hey, man, we don't know if we can get past the South Pole. Like we don't know. There might be aliens. If you go 1,000 miles past south, it might just be more land, and there might be an island.
Right.
If you knew that might be the case, would you and your friend go, dude, I'm going to go work at the law firm today? Or would you go, hey, man, I got a boat, you got a boat, let's go.
Our country needs to make sure that we have people that pick up our garbage, that flip our burgers, that fucking clean our hotel rooms.
Burgers?
We need the remedial.
You're so racist.
That's all being replaced by robots.
Right.
It is. But Carl's Jr. wants to have their first automated store by 2020.
Right. But
last year, 2020. It's really weird.
That whole idea of that statement is that we need people to be complacent.
Sure.
We need people to be able to be satisfied with
Joe Rogan podcast number 110 with Duncan Trussell. 47 minutes into it, you're talking exactly what we're talking about right now. Verbatim.
What would the world be?
Verbatim. It's exactly, yeah, they go, well, what would happen if we don't have people that want to do these jobs and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly the conversation. They 100% have that conversation. But the point they come across is, well, they're already having electronic cashiers at places. They're already eliminating. So the thing I used to do, I used to be firmly involved in the Amway business. Where a lot of people scoff at this and that, whatever.
The pyramid.
Well, the thing is there's a lot of people that do it wrong because a lot of people want to find the shortcuts and things. So a lot of people want to try to manipulate the system, and they're the ones that are the masses. So unfortunately, it becomes like, oh fuck, this is an actual business, but these people have kind of fucked it up. What I used to teach people when I did this was fuck, what were we just talking about right before the Amway thing?
Pyramid scheme?
Right before that part.
Excuse me.
Where was I right before that? Jobs and oh yeah, so I used to play this thing for people that it was kind of like, god damn it, that wasn't where I was going with it. No, I'm good right now for now. Damn it, I was going somewhere and I hit a fucking pothole. Which is, well, I used to play people this one thing all the time, just kind of get people to think like, oh, jobs are going away. That was the whole thing. It's like these jobs that we're used to and we're complacent with are going away. So if you're like, no, I'll always work this thing. It's like, no, what if they cut that out? And then here's where I was going at with it, is if you had a garden and you were trying to raise crops or trying to grow tomato plants or whatever kind of crops you're trying to grow, what's one of the main things that you have to do to make sure that garden is successful is you have to weed out all the weeds. You pull the weeds. So you pull the weeds because what are they doing? They're feeding on the crops. So if you look at our society right now, we have a lot of weeds.
Those are the welfare people is what you're talking about.
Majority, yeah, but not even the welfare people. Even the people that say my job should cover for me. My job should this. I'm showing up. They should pay me. I'm just being here, punching in the clock. I deserve this amount of money. I'm entitled to this. I'm not actually going to put it forth to work. And we have a lot of weeds that are feeding off of successful people. People that are doing things that they don't need these people because now they have technology to take care of it.
Those weeds are what feed capitalism.
Sure. But those weeds need to be pulled so those capitalistic things can grow bigger. So you get rid of a lot of these things that are feeding off them. Now they can grow even bigger. Now you have even less. Now you have other weeds that will sprout eventually.
How is capitalism going to grow bigger without the weeds? The blind weeds just consuming things on a daily basis.
Well, if you look at what's happening in our society, it seems like the weeds are kind of being wiped out right now. People are kind of being pushed to one side or the other. So it's almost like when people are going online.
Yeah, but the weeds are going to never stop spending as long as
welfare. Sure, but you don't need as many if the crops are big enough.
That EBT card.
If the crops are big enough, you don't need as much stuff to support those things.
You look like a fucking movie villain right now with your dog
with my old ass dog.
Inspector Gadget.
So you need them to a point to get them to a certain growth, and that a certain growth, when they can all of a sudden sustain themselves a little more, you need even less. So look at the online business market versus the store-based business market. So let's say, and that's this example I used to use then back. So GNC, I used to manage GNC. We'd give a receipt to people that said, "Hey, if you like this stuff, shop at GNC.com." Why would a corporation need to do that while Frenzy's fingering this dog over here? Why would a corporation need to promote their website if someone's already going into the store? So what I started noticing within my store was it became, as a manager, harder for me to restaff, harder for me to pick my own employees. If someone came to apply at my store, I'd say, go to GNC.com, go fill out the thing, and if my corporation approves you, they'll send your link to me, and I'll be able to pick you off of the people they've submitted to me.
Really?
Yes. Now, one thing I also noticed, I had an employee that worked for my store at GNC. She wanted more hours. There was this other girl I was kind of dating at the time. She was an assistant manager at this other store.
Oh, it's because you were dating her.
Now, hold on. The dating part comes into the
dating. He was
the dating part comes into the information she shared with me. So I send this girl over to her store to get a job at her store. Now, this girl was perfect for this store. It was Claire's, and she loved earrings and necklaces. She was perfect for that store.
Oh,
so I sent her
interrupted. Pause for 1 second. Sorry. I thought you were going to plug it in. Well, that's your fault then.
So this girl, I send her over to work at the store. I get a call from this girl that I was dating, the assistant manager, saying, "Hey, if you can have your employee come back and she needs to give us some more references." I said, well, why is that? I'm her current manager, saying she's a great employee. Why does she need more references? They go, because the online test she took, and this is their honest response, they said she scored too well. So they think she might be lying, and they need more references. I said, well, here's where you're fucking up, because if she scored too well, I mean, she's perfect for the job, and if her current manager, me, that doesn't want to lose her as an employee, is saying she's an amazing employee, isn't that the only reference you need? But because they're a corporation and because they had to go through all these loopholes before the company could actually hire somebody. So now here's what I pieced together. As a manager that saw this happening in my own stores, where I said, wow, I can't even hire somebody. If you walked in and I said, yeah, I'd love to hire you, I'd have to tell you to go to online. Now I know why it happened for my employee, because she was overqualified or too well qualified. So now as a corporation, if you have these standards set to where they're hard to employ your store conveniently, you might have a store that will drop off on customer service, on one thing or the other. And now you can justify cutting that store out of your repertoire. We don't need that store anymore. It's costing us money. The customers, though, you've given them all the receipt. If you like your service, go to gnc.com. Yeah. Maybe 1/3 of them will say, hey, man, I'll still shop at gnc.com. Sure. Maybe 1/3. Maybe it's less. But now you have no overhead to pay for.
Right.
All you're getting is the CEOs directly paid to them. So that 1/3 turns into 50% profit, where before 100% of it was only 25% profit, because you had to pay all these other things. So you can weed out these things. You can merge them out. And I've had people go, you're saying retail's me feed it out. No. It'll still be to a point. But a lot of these stores are being flushed out. A lot of these things, like towns like Wilmer here, will have a Walmart coming in, and all of a sudden Walmart employs most of the town. People that work at Walmart shop at Walmart.
Yep.
Well, where does Walmart spend their money? Not in fucking Wilmer.
No.
So now you have things where you go, this town doesn't even really need to be. People are filtering into these bigger cities to work there. They're working online. We don't really need these people as much. It turns into like a really odd scenario where you go, well, are we weeds? Seems like we are. It seems like they're weeding out society. We're getting us to fight each other. They're turning us against each other. Well, now we can send cops in and start pulling people out.
You still need the consumers.
To a point. A smaller fraction of them, though. You only need a smaller fraction. So you need less of them. And what's happening now is a lot of people are being flushed out. A lot of people are being, for one reason or another.
But they're flushing out the employees and the overhead of an employee.
Yeah, and they're still consumers. They're still consumers.
Right. But that's the thing. You can't weed out the consumer, because otherwise
you're not weeding them all out.
You have to have the consumers.
You're leaving a majority of them in there.
No matter what class they fall under.
Yeah, and majority of them are women. And that's where Sam Tripoli brings up the fact that you have to have women they can't be alienated. They have to be the victims too, so they still buy the stuff. And that's where Tripoli kind of goes down that route, and it's where you go, yeah, you're still going to have consumers.
Well, you need the women. Women are powerful as fuck. They're the ones that spend.
They're the ones with the voice.
They probably spend the most money, and they have the most say when it comes to most things. Whether people are willing to.
One of the reason guys get nice cars, because girls like nice cars, and they want a guy that drives a nice car.
R. Kelly and Jay-Z said it the best in their Best of Both Worlds album. The power of the P-U-S-S-Y. It's why every motherfucker in the world dress fly.
That has nothing to do with women in general. That has to do with our pussies and you wanting to fuck them. That's what it has to do with.
The world revolves around pussy.
Yeah, because men want to fuck that pussy. That's why.
Exactly. That's why. Because men run shit.
But you don't care about what we have to say or think.
Women don't care what men have to think or say. They just want the money.
No, I do.
Support me, care for me,
no,
protect me.
That shit.
Obviously, there's exceptions to every rule. But the overwhelming majority in the way that the gears run in this world and this society is men seek out pussy. That's why they want to be rich and famous and powerful. And women want to be with those rich and famous and powerful men.
Because they want to be protected.
Not me.
I'm not saying
these exceptions.
In general, you know that's the case.
But you're totally stereotyping women by saying that. I would say that
not all women. There's exceptions.
Not all women. But you're
yes, all women.
But you just basically said women want that. most women that I know do not want that.
I said the majority.
Majority,
I think
that's
the masses.
bullshit.
And
That's
like I
bullshit.
said,
That's
not
fucking bullshit.
But
Yes, it is.
There's exceptions to every rule.
Yeah,
Every
there
rule.
is. There's also guys that want to be fucked in the ass by their girlfriends with a big dildo.
Because of societal that's something that's put out there as a majority. Like, the first time I walked into a lover's store up in Washington, I saw a strap-on box for the product. It had a woman sitting there in front and a guy draped over her shoulders. And I pointed to the girl I was with. I go, do you see what this box is insinuating? This box is suggesting you're using this strap on another girl. This box is suggesting you're using it on a guy. Now, you know for a fact there's going to be a couple that walks past that, and a girl goes, honey, would you let me do this to you? And eventually that seed gets planted. And with this whole gay agenda thing, really seems like it's a thing. It really seems like, because if you were to isolated our country as it is right now, what's the generation that defended our country from the Nazis, from Vietnam? It was the 18 to 25-year-olds. They were the people that fought the wars in World War II. 17 to 25, for sure, they were the age of the people that went to war and all this stuff like that.
Right.
Take that exact age range right now, current, this freeze-frame society as a whole. 17 to 25-year-olds. You're going to defend us. Are you going to stand behind them? No, because we're conditioned this way now. So if you had a ruling elite, and I lean towards the British to whatever degree, whatever, we broke away from them for the independence and all this stuff like that. 1776, we broke away from the British. Who's the majority of people on our TV, our newscasters, our judges on things? They're all British-based. They're all Simon Cowell, all these British accent people.
But even the people that broke away from the British, the Protestants, you know, right? It was the Protestants that broke away from the British. They didn't break away from the British because they felt that they were being... that they believed in free speech and the ability to practice whatever beliefs they believed in. They wanted to be able to practice their beliefs.
Yeah.
Not everyone's beliefs. They weren't, oh my God, Ola smells like shit.
Yeah, she just farted some badass shit.
They weren't under the belief like free speech for everyone, believe whatever you want to believe in. They were under the belief that the British don't believe in what we believe in, so fuck them. We're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they still had the idea that if you don't believe in what we believe in, well, fuck you too.
Right, but how weird is it that now we have the majority of people that are on our media, news, podcasts, whatever, it's majority of people have a British, and I this is weird to me. I actually, my Facebook memory from I probably pulled up still today. I said, why are there so many British people behind the scenes in Hollywood? And I noticed this as a background actor. A lot of people giving direction. A lot of people behind the thing are British. I'm like,
really?
Yeah. One of them, I love the British accent, I love the way they talk and stuff. And they can say things so casually that sound nice when they're actually mean. And one of them, we were in the movie Why Him, and we were filming at this mall that never made the actual scene. I'm kind of disappointed because I was in a scene with Bryan Cranston, but I know I was so close, never made it. But we were trying to break for lunch, and you got a lot of adults that think they know the best or whatever, and you have younger people that are the ADs and whatever, the assistant directors that are telling people what to do and trying to get people to hold on or whatever. And this guy was trying to explain to us something that was happening after lunch or whatever, and this lady that thought she knew better was just talking, and this dude looks at her and goes, "That is not a helpful comment." And the British accent made that sound so fucking official, so like, that is not a helpful comment. Where I'm like, I can't say that without sounding like nervous or whatever. But it was just there's so many British people that are running shit. Where you go like, wow, if we broke away from it, why are they all coming over here running? I don't know if that's a thing or if it's just maybe we have better payout systems. And maybe they're coming over for a reason one way or the other. Or maybe there is a thing where we're being conditioned and the gay agenda and this and that and the whole like... The fact that there's trans schools for kids nowadays, it's like... Is
there really?
Yeah.
Specifically
6 years old, yes.
What?
Yes.
I guess whatever.
Yeah, again, and that's where I have to ask myself, am I behind the eight ball on this because I'm from Minnesota and maybe we're slower on the thing, or is it weird because it's weird? I don't know. I don't know which way, and I'm not going to judge either way. But if you were to say, hey, take that generation that defended us years ago, have that generation defend us now, would we stand behind them? And we go, no. Yeah, there's a couple in there. Maybe there are people 18, 25 that maybe a few, but the majority, no. So you go, why would that be a thing? Maybe it is a conditioning. Maybe there is this whole dumbing down, process.
Well, most 18 to 25-year-olds, in this society, this day and age,
overweight, video game,
right? They're not going to go to war.
They don't know how to interact with people.
They don't want to fight. They're non-competitional.
They don't want to do shit. They want to be lazy motherfuckers.
Well, like a portion of them are just too fat and lazy to actually get up and do something like that. But another portion of them is becoming more enlightened and aware of the way that the world works.
Yeah, definitely have that.
Why the fuck would I go to war and protect your
fascist system
exactly.
Right, but
why am I going to protect these crops
what got
them
to the point of being that way? Like, what got them to the point of being like, I'm a lazy piece of shit and all I care about is video games and eating shit food. Also, this whole topic of
Little Caesars.
of Little Caesars pizza. This whole situation with women and like that whole thing, I guess for me,
the power of the PUSSY.
Yeah, the pussy power.
Yeah.
If you're a confident woman, like you should just be able to.
You should.
Just be fine with all that shit.
That is the big word is should.
Well, then just do it.
You can put should into
a lot
But so
many women have been treated shitty by people. Not necessarily men. Women, too.
Yeah.
Women are worse than men, actually.
Right.
Women are fucking bitches.
Yeah.
They are. Sorry, ladies, but you are.
A lot of bitchy women. A lot of dumb guys. A lot of bitchy women.
And a lot of dumb guys.
A lot of women get bitchy because
also,
guys are dumb.
like, it's okay. It's okay if you're a woman and you're a sexual person. Like, you shouldn't feel bad about that. Like, it doesn't mean you have to go fuck everybody around the block. But you can still be sexual and be, like, good in that situation within yourself. And, like, if you're committed to somebody, you shouldn't feel bad about that ever.
No.
And I feel like that's, like, a stigma with women. Like, they don't get to
There's
be...
definitely a double standard.
If you're a sexual person, that means you're either a stripper or a porn star or a slut.
Well, that's where it's been rewarded to not be that fit, attractive woman anymore. Now, it's a really fine line to walk down, but there's a lot of very unattractive people as a whole.
Yeah.
But women that maybe haven't put in the work that other women have, that are being told, no, you're just as beautiful as that woman. You're beautiful as you are. You don't need to try. And these people that are like, yeah, you're right. It just doesn't fly. You don't see that in the guy category, where guys are telling other guys that are fat and slobby and overweight, dude, you're good the way you are, man. And it's like, keep going. No, because we would suffer as a society if we thought that was an acceptable form.
Right.
But for some reason, the women are promoting other women to be out of shape because it makes them look better.
Well, that's bullshit, though.
But you see that. You see a group of women where you see one attractive woman with two. You're like, oh, wow. And she'll defend that ugly one to the death.
Or you even see it with girlfriend. Like, I have girlfriends where they're like, oh, you're so skinny, or you're so whatever, you're better than me. And it's like, we've been friends since we were 10 years old. Like, why is this even a conversation?
I agree with what he's saying in a way, because you do see these posts where there'll be an obviously overweight female. It doesn't happen with men because just men don't give a shit. But the women are the ones that just latch on to this thing that, like, because of the magazines and the magazines and the TV shows have put women, these scrawny little model type women, on a pedestal, right? Like, this is how you're supposed to look, right? But then you see these posts on, like, Facebook and social media where they'll have an obviously overweight woman modeling for some company or whatever. She's doing some modeling shoot, right? And they're like,
so great.
But not only is she modeling something, she's saying that she's confident in herself being the size that she is. That's bullshit. Okay. She is not okay with that.
Yeah, she's only okay because she's getting paid to be okay.
Not okay with that. She is okay with that because she's making money and getting attention.
She would rather be.
She's going to go home and she's going to eat a fucking Hershey bar and cry herself to sleep.
If she is legitimately confident,
not.
I know, but if she
is fake in the front,
if she's legitimately okay and confident.
She's not.
Fine.
Nobody is.
I'm just saying, if she is, that's
really,
fine.
Honestly, nobody is.
I get it.
And that's the thing is, people are.
If she is,
let me
explain.
Mm-hmm.
If she is, that's fine. Cool with her. If you're happy being being a fatty.
I get that. I'm saying that's fine if she's happy with it. I'm just saying that no woman would be fine with that. It's all a front.
Let me round this about.
Why are you getting so mad? We're talking about women. I'm more than you about knowledgeable.
Like
about
if the woman is okay with that, legitimately okay with it, which I agree, she probably.
They're never going to be okay with that.
She probably isn't. But if they are, fine.
They're not though. Is what I'm telling
just
you.
Saying.
I know, but you're just saying. But you're not a woman. You don't fucking know. You can't say that.
I know. I'm just saying. Let me finish. If she is happy with it,
she's not.
More power to her. If she legitimately is, I agree.
It's all lies.
I agree. They probably aren't. But what's fucked up is that so many women are able to latch onto these little posts. Like, oh, bravo! You're so
because
brave.
Guess what?
So
Men make women feel like that.
But
though,
the fact of the matter is,
I think women make other women feel that way.
Women make other women feel
like that. The fact of the matter is, you're overweight. And it's
Francie,
most likely
I'm overweight.
This woman, this model, is overweight and she's unhealthy.
Yeah,
it's not healthy to be 250 and be a 5'3" female.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy, whether you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah,
but the fact that you're proud of it is kind of bullshit. Like. You can't wake up every day and be like, oh, I'm totally happy that it's a fucking pain in the ass to walk up and down the stairs every day. Like you're legitimately unhealthy.
I'm kind of annoyed right now that you're talking about women in this situation because you're not a girl.
But
honestly,
I still get to.
Like you keep wanting to. I know you get to, but you keep wanting to like portray your opinion, but you're not a woman. You don't get it. Like you don't get how sexually objectified we are as women.
Trust me.
But how much power you have when you're in that position?
Yeah, we do. Obviously.
Yeah, more power than a guy has in that position.
And you can use it however you want
it's
to.
It's definitely easier. I agree. It's definitely easier for men. Like, if a guy is got a pot belly and he doesn't work out and he's a little unattractive, but he's got a good personality.
It's the dad bod now. I have a dad bod.
Someone brought up the other day that only happened when Leonardo DiCaprio got fat, and they're like, "Well, now that's a thing,
right?
Because the hot guy is now fat."
Yeah.
I
know women are definitely more objectified than men, but there are still things. Guys, they have the whole like big dick, little dick thing.
Okay, that's like if you take your pants off and actually fuck somebody.
I can't change a tire if I got fucking muscles.
No, not
the
same. Not the same.
I'm not saying it's the same.
I'm
just saying it's not 100% in the women aspect. The guys still have stigmas. There's still things that guys feel like they have to live up to. It's obviously worse for women. There's definitely more of. Like 500% worse.
I had earlier today. I had a conversation with a friend of mine talking about like this.
Come on, Francie. Come on.
I'll punch you in the face.
I know you will.
This hot chick. I was like, I showed my friend this Facebook, this Instagram post of this hot chick, whatever. And I was like, God, look at how easier her life is. Like, but here's what it came down to. It came down to look at that. She post these pictures, whatever, and then my buddy's agreeing, and I was the one that went, yeah, but she'll get raped before you and I. It's like it was like this. Okay, yeah, there's definitely an advantage and a disadvantage. Yeah, she's got the power looking like that, but we're not going to get raped. And it's just like it turned into like, okay, the grass is greener. The grass is greener on either side you want to look at it. It's like, well, even as green as it looks like, we still have less of a threat. No one's going to, she gets everything handed to her, but. But there is that
Nobody's
element
gonna
of
hold me down in a race.
Yeah, no one cares about me or you, But that exists.
Yeah, it does exist.
But I also say, like, if you take like, we'll just use a popular like a Carmen Electra or someone that's.
That's from like the 90s.
I know. I'm trying to pick someone that I can. That's not an arguable. I don't know anymore. But let's say in her prime. It doesn't even matter who's hot now. Let's say in her prime, Carmen Electra.
Okay.
Was she one of the hottest women in the world in her prime?
Yeah.
Arguably, debatably, whatever. Yeah, she's up there. Yep. So if you were able to have every woman on the planet look exactly like her and her prime,
gross.
It'd be boring.
Would it be boring? No. I'm saying this as let's pick a model that if you can take a poll of all the guys and say, what's your hottest female body type? And if somehow you can formulate a weird science world where every woman that had that body type, and they have their own individual personalities, would we have war the way we have it today? And I think no. Not on the level. Because I think you wouldn't have that, I'm trying to fight for this girl. You'd have, we're all equally hot. Let me pick the one that my personality. So I'll find my personality and whatever. And it's not and I don't know for sure if that, but it seems like image is a major factor in why people hold themselves to a certain level.
As underlying as it may be, it does really come down because at least in the grand scheme of things, at least in the picture that the world sees, is men run the world. It may not actually be that way.
It seems like it's the other way. It seems like from behind the scenes, women run it, and men have to be the guy running to the cornfield first and taking the touches first.
Men have the titles. Men have the authority.
Yeah, they think they like to.
But everything that they do is driven by the fucking pussy.
Yeah.
And the drive to be powerful and successful and rich. And the only reason they want to be rich and powerful and successful is so
because
that
of the
pussy just surrounds them. They want pussy. And if they could have their choice, if they could have a fucking sex bot that looked however they wanted to look and would do whatever they wanted to look and did talk back and claim
that would
the
be
fuck
super boring.
It might be, but I don't know.
Is that what you want? You want a sex bot that just does whatever you want?
I'm saying.
It doesn't have an opinion?
Here's the thing, is women want to create drama. She's going to be too boring, we need drama included.
No, you want a vagina. You basically want a vagina that you can fuck whenever you want. That's fine. I can find a cock that I can just fuck whenever I want to.
For the creeps of the world.
No opinion.
For the creeps of the world that run this world, that run this society.
No, you're not changing the subject right now.
No, I'm stating things the way they are. Is for the creeps of the world, it comes down to power and desire, and they may not
image is a big thing. How people see you.
Exactly, and if they had these, if women were not a part of the equation that they had to worry about, there probably would be less war.
Yeah.
There probably be less cuntiness.
Yeah, it feels that way.
So they would just fuck assholes?
Maybe.
That's what the Spartans did.
I think that's what they would do.
The Spartans did that.
Yeah,
Helen of Troy kind of sparked that whole situation.
Maybe all these powerful fuckers would just start fucking each other.
All right.
Yeah, I
think that's what should happen.
I don't know.
I think that's what happens. It seems like that is what is happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy you guys both a subscription to some kind of cock and balls magazine.
No, just send us to Norway where all women look the same. Just go to Sweden or wherever that is, where they're all 5'8" blondes. Like, they're not fighting over there. Why is that a thing? I think we can prove it based on this world. Which countries have the less war? Where the women are the most beautiful. Canada's not fighting nobody. Right. Norway's not fighting nobody. Sweden's not fighting nobody.
Canada,
they're fucking game.
Yeah, Canada and Sweden have it figured out. They're just like
just beautiful women. Everyone's got cool personalities. We're out of this.
But they never have sex. I don't feel like in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's just abstinent in Canada. They're fucking like rabbits. They don't have all the extra bullshit.
Here's my problem is that most men feel like they can't have a chick that likes to fuck and also has a good personality. Like, figure it out.
This rare.
You might be projecting.
I know that I'm a good fuck, and I know that I have a good personality, so maybe I am.
But that's the thing, Francie, is that most people that
find that shit. Don't settle for that shit. Don't just fuck somebody because you want to fuck them. Find someone that has a good personality too, and is a good fuck.
Francie,
I'm talking right now.
It's too easy to find a hot chick and not alone.
Yeah, it's too easy to find a good chick just to fuck that is a stupid motherfucking dumbass.
A hot chick who is also a good fuck. Those things are not coinciding.
Yeah.
They can be hot as fuck but suck at sex. And most of the time, if they're hot as fuck, their personality fucking sucks.
That's why Canada's awesome. Because they have great personalities and they're hot.
Like, find those three things and you'll be set.
It's
like, you're good.
Vancouver.
It's like trying to find a dude who's got a bunch of money who's not a complete douchebag.
And is a big dick.
It has a big dick.
I think that it's funny that you guys both think that is like what we want, and it is nothing that women want at all.
Well, you don't want.
I don't want a big dick.
You don't want
That's
a little
scary.
Dick. What you got to do with a bunch of money, and he's got a tiny dick.
I think like medium is fine. Medium is fine. Medium money. Medium
so you're still judging size though.
Exactly.
You're saying if it's small,
I always judge size.
Right. Yeah.
So if you got what if you got a guy with a big ass bank account? He's a fucking douchebag, but he's got a little dick.
Nope.
Bye. But he
Bye,
treats you like
Felicia.
a queen.
Nope. Fuck you. Bye,
Really?
Felicia.
He's got
Fuck
his
off.
dick? Because of his dick?
Nope. Because of the bank account. Because of the small dick. All the things. Not my type.
What if you guys had a big bank account? He's a fucking sweetheart.
No big bank account. I don't need that shit.
You don't.
So you want a guy that's gonna make you work for the rest of your life?
No, I just want someone who's my teammate.
But what if
What if that guy is your teammate?
What if he's your teammate and he's got a big fat fucking veiny dick, but he's rich as fuck?
No.
What? You don't want a dude who's rich
because
he's awesome?
Because he's gonna use that bank account to be like, hey baby, I'm gonna fake a rape scene with you, and I'm gonna do whatever. Like he's gonna use that shit against me because he's a fucking rich motherfucker and he's sick as fuck. I'm not dealing with that.
You watch 50 Shades of Grey too many times.
I've never watched any of those actually.
You must have seen some trailers or something.
Nope,
you read
nothing.
the book. That's
nothing.
You want to get raped, don't you, Frenzy?
No.
by a homeless dude with a big.
I like a little neck, like something, but that's it. Other than that, nope.
What is it? You want him to choke?
I want a good blue collar, normal, like decent man. That's all I care about.
Blue collar, average wage. You don't want a rich dude.
Average dick size, average wage, average everything.
I think you're
Franzie's not a dreamer.
I guess not. You gotta think big. What if you can get that dude who's like just badass?
Holds herself down. She doesn't think she can.
Because he's I know that I can. I know that I can. I know that I'm.
You can do it, Francie. We believe in you.
It's because of all of the other vaginas that he's been in. I don't want to do that.
What if he's a virgin? What if he's a virgin?
If he's a virgin, no, thank you.
See, now judging again.
Why are you so judgy about a virgin? He's been waiting for you.
You're his choice.
He's waiting for that pristine chapel that is your vagina.
Go fuck somebody else and then come back to me.
Oh, yeah. He's got to have a little bit of.
He falls in love with that girl, and she falls in love with him, and you miss out your Prince Charming.
He won't fall in love with her.
She's like, he hasn't had frenzy yet. His dick hasn't been in a frenzy.
Nope.
Oh my god. All right. Well, Frenzy doesn't like rich dudes. If you're rich,
nope.
Do not send dick pics to Frenzy.
No one send me dick pics.
If you make less than $100,000 a year, send all your dick pics to Frenzy. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold a contest. And
no, we're not.
Send all your dick pics to Frenzy.
No.
And by that,
stop.
Frenzy at SargeApproved.com.
Yes. By that, Melissa Frenzy on Facebook. And by that, I do not mean send your pics of your actual dick to Frenzy. Send pictures of a guy named Dick. And the winner will win a date with Frenzy.
No, they will not.
Via Skype. And if you send your dick, then, well, that's the way things roll. But you have to make less than $100,000 a year, I imagine, right? Or
be rich.
Or be on welfare.
I need a personal connection, personality-wise. That's all I care
about. You can still be rich and have a connection.
Yeah, I'm not going to, though. That's the whole thing.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. You're a hater.
Oh, my gosh.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You're trying so hard
Men that are rich are douchebags.
Not all of them.
Yes.
You don't even judgmental.
I would say 99.9% of them
that 1% might miss out on you because you're judging all the rest.
Then fine. Then message me and let me know what your scoop is.
There's some dude out there who's rich. I mean, I've seen so many rom-coms that I guarantee there's some Matthew McConaughey out there who's rich as fuck, and he's like, all right.
But I don't want to even deal. I don't want to deal with that. Like, you have your job, I have my job. Our money is separate. Like, figure it out. Like, I don't need you to take care of me. I can take care of myself. Done. What
if Darrin Chase became rich doing comedy?
No,
Little Caesars.
Darrin Chase would have his own bank account,
awesome
and I would have my
winner. This guy's marriage material. What if he gets rich? He's not trying to get rich.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying he would have his own bank account. I would have mine. I can take care of myself.
Oh, but you're not going to dip into that bank account?
No.
That fucking $30 million bank account
Nope.
every once in a while? Whatever.
Unless we want a vacation once in a while. That's it. Oh my god, you're totally making me seem like I'm a gold digger. Fuck that.
I'm saying you're trying too hard to make yourself seem like you're
support
not
myself.
a gold digger.
I am not a gold digger. I support myself completely and fully.
And you would do that if someone else said you don't have to. Here's a bunch of money.
I still would.
What's wrong with that?
Really?
Because
Seems like a waste of
I
time.
don't want someone to take care of me.
None of us do, but if we found the partner that says, "Hey, this door is open,"
if we were to find something together, like, hey, we're gonna make some money together and like do it that way, cool.
But what if you doing it by yourself as being such an awesome person and really striving to be the best you can be, that you grab the attention of someone that can support you for the rest of your life, that you no longer have to do that work because you already did it. You paid it forward.
I would feel weird. I would feel weird.
That you paid it forward?
Just sign a prenup.
I would say, like, you can go take care of somebody else. And I'll take care of myself, and like we can still be together. Why? Why is that cold?
You might be missing out on fucking opportunity of like.
I think that's why as a society. I think that's as a society, people are missing out as a clear point because we're taught by media that we should want for something else than what we have. You know, you should fight for yourself. You shouldn't let this guy support you because that makes you weak. It's like, no, this person's willing to move mountains for you because you're awesome as you are. That's not weak. That's being a great person.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want that?
It is possible that there's some rich fucking dude out there who's actually decent. I'm sure most of them aren't, but I guarantee you there's at least one dude. There's 7 billion fucking people. There's at least one dude who's rich and a good guy. And he's looking for you.
Yeah, most of them are
he's
dicks.
Searching for you,
so
Fancy.
Hey, you're not looking for those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't.
You can't use the majority of the game to judge the few.
I really don't want someone to take care of me. Like, I can figure it out. Like, I'm good with it. I'm stubborn as fuck.
You're
I get
a strong
that.
black woman, Francie. I know that.
I'm so punching you in the face. You do not get any banana chocolate chip muffins.
Speaking of punching
Darrin
in the face.
gets them.
Oh, there's the photo. Oh, shit. Mayweather looks fucked up.
That's what I think. Law of attraction wise, I'm like, I think this is what does it. I think that's what wins it, is that he looks at it every day.
Did you see the simulation on YouTube?
No.
About the
you
fight?
Look at EA Sports.
No.
Yeah,
they have Connor winning by jumping into the air and
they did
punching him in the air.
Yeah, roundhouse kicked him. I think it'd be even funnier if McGregor had that mural on his wall of his training center of like Mayweather on his knees sucking McGregor's dick.
He might have that one too. He might not show people.
And then going like this with cash.
I wish he would have showed up to the press conference with that on the back of a jacket and showed up and just shown that. That would have been dope. That's how you did. I was like, all right, well, that's so cool, but
the fuck you pinstripes though is pretty good.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I think a Law of Attraction wins in this one. I think that goes ahead and proves flat Earth. Just link it all back. Whoa, what? Where'd that come from?
Oh shit! All right, I think this is about time to wrap this thing up. Pull this train into the station. What do you think?
Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom again.
We didn't even mention our sponsors. All right, you go take a piss, and we're gonna talk about our sponsors real quick. Sound good? All right, Frenzy.
What?
Frenzy. We have some sponsors. Paying for this episode. Who we got?
We got Comics Watching Comics, hosted by Kevin Goatee.
Yes, and you can find them coming soon to Amazon Prime.
Also at comicswatchingcomics.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the things.
All the things.
And then the SportsBook Box Office Podcast, hosted by Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Paul.
2 veteran New York City comics that talk about movies and sports and bust each other's balls.
You can find them on iTunes,
Spreaker,
Stitcher,
Podomatic. Fuck yeah.
Like their Facebook page, all the things. They're on Twitter, Instagram as well.
Yes. And then we also have Northland Vapor.
Yes, which we are wearing their gear.
Not anymore.
It's the live videos con. But you can find Northland Vapor at northlandvapor.com. We have a current discount code.
Yes.
You type in Sarge20 to get 20% off e-liquid and swag.
Yes.
Which is what we were wearing earlier.
We're swagging it.
And then Alpine Hemp.
They have 100% full spectrum plant extract CBD oil. All the shit that's going to cure, like, anxiety and depression and pain and
all the things
all the
available
things.
in capsules and tinctures.
Yes.
Like little bottle dropper.
They also
blah,
have
blah, blah.
the coupon code.
Yep,
Sarge 20.
Sarge 20, Sarge
20.
20, Sarge 20, Sarge 20.
Gets you 20% off.
You can also find all of our sponsors on our website, sargeapproved.com, along with our latest episodes.
Yes.
And that's really all we got for you.
I think that's it. That's it for sponsors.
We're going to bed.
Boom.
Oh.
All right. We're done.
Random
I
thing.
know. This has been
John
fun,
Jones tests positive for steroids after UFC 214, according to
really?
TMZ.
Really? See, he didn't cycle off soon enough. You gotta cycle off before you weigh
He
in.
needs to rehydrate a lot.
Man, that was a dud because he won that fight too.
I guarantee most.
But what do you think about John Jones fighting Brock Lesnar? They can both dope.
Is that gonna happen?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
They're talking about it.
How long's
let
Brock?
them both dope up because they both have suspensions now. Let them both dope up and
Yeah.
fight on dope.
Yeah,
Bah,
right?
bah, bah, bah.
Let him fucking smoke a bunch of meth before the fight.
NBA
Who cares?
Jam style fights, you know, just triple backflipping into a kick.
Right.
You know, who cares?
How long has Brock been out of the UFC?
About a
years
year.
at
But
least.
no, he fought Mark Hunt recently, and then he failed a doping thing, and he has like a 6-month suspension, so he can come back. I think early 2018. I think is when it is,
Oh shit.
Oh, jeez.
or a year
Okay.
suspension.
Should we do the outro right
Yeah.
here with
Yeah.
Corey or Corey? God, I keep calling you
You're
Corey.
such a
You look
dick.
just like him,
Hey,
man.
exactly.
Yeah,
like
you
Corey.
have so much less hair than him.
Call me Tim Mathis. It's
Oh shit. Let me see. Okay. Let me. Why is it not working? What were you gonna say, Frenzy?
I was going to talk about fantasy football draft and how neither of us is going to draft a defense in the 8th round like Jeffrey Paul.
play my wrestling entrance as the exit.
Jeffrey Paul.
Yeah, what's your
Jeffrey
wrestling
Paul
entrance?
picked a
Is this
defense
it?
in the 8th round.
Not this. It's this right here.
What's your wrestling entrance? I'll look it up on YouTube. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's Follow by Breaking Benjamin.
Oh, we can't play that. We don't got the rights to that. Breaking Benjamin ain't gonna allow that shit. Even though they're not doing anything these days.
They aren't they?
I don't think so. They had that one album.
Now that Linkin Park dude killed himself, they should really step into the spotlight.
What? Oh.
Gunner Crate send us an email about sponsorship, and they're sending payment tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Dope.
Well, they don't get to be part of this episode yet.
No, they just sent me an email because I sent them the agreement.
You're welcome for the free mention, Gunner Crate, in this episode that you haven't paid for yet.
Gunner Crate! Enter to win a free year at Gunner Crate. Become the MD of the range with Gunner Crate's innovative core target and a firearm maintenance kit, along with 4 to 7 items from top lifestyle merchants delivered monthly.
I can't open it. So, yeah.
See, that's why I agree. Can't we just say
awesome.
toilet? Put a picture of a toilet? We have all this random gender neutral. Like,
Yeah.
just say toilet at some point. A restroom.
You got a picture of the female sign, the male sign, the handicap sign, and then what the fuck is that? Half a dress?
It's a yeah.
That's-
It's a trans symbol that one side wears a dress, one side wears a doesn't. wear a dress.
Wow, that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Gender
Who
neutral
cares?
bathroom. They should
You
just
got
say
a dick
toilet.
or-
Put a picture of
Exactly.
a toilet.
Yeah.
And that's it.
If as long as the door is locked,
Yeah.
you can lock the door. It's like one of those private bathrooms. Who the fuck cares who goes in there?
Yeah, just put a picture of a toilet. For people that can't read restroom, just put a picture of a toilet. It's not
Exactly.
going to offend nobody. You know what
Yeah.
a toilet looks like? That's what I'm looking for, is that thing.
So ridiculous. We're a bunch of pussies.
And for the record, by saying pussies, that's not saying a female body part is weaker. That's
Yes.
saying scaredy cat, a.k.a. pussy cat, a.k.a.
Yes.
pussy.
Thank
You're
you.
backing down because you're a scaredy cat, because you're not willing to address
Yes.
it. Therefore, you're a pussy cat. Therefore, you're scared. Therefore, you're fragile. It's not saying the vagina. It's saying a kitten.
Which is
I have no problem talking about pussies. It's
which
fine.
The
But I'm
pussy
saying
is
it's a
very elastic, very
Malleable, yeah.
It can also
malleable.
be. It can also be very.
bounce back from traumatic situations. Yes, the pussy is way stronger than the dick.
But
It can also
talking
be
about scaredy
very...
cats.
pussy cats are very scared and weak.
Little bitches. Is
Little
what
kittens. Little kittens are weak.
They are. Yeah, we just start calling them kitty. You're a fucking kitty. How about that? Right? They're skittish.
Yeah.
Kitties.
Do you think that there would ever be any reason, if you were having sex with somebody, to have a tarp laid down
If they're
in a situation?
I've used a towel laid
A
down.
tarp,
actual
a towel, a tarp
for
or
a
a towel.
squirter?
Yeah.
for like a
towels.
fucking insane squirter?
Yeah.
Like monsoon
Or
type squirter?
Period.
Why?
sex.
No,
What are you
not
look-
periods,
What
gross.
are you looking at?
I'm looking at some sponsorship stuff. I don't know what
Oh,
you're
I
talking
thought you
about.
were looking at like squirt porn or something.
No.
You ever seen this elephant painting a picture of an elephant?
Yes, they trained him to do that.
My buddy has one of those paintings. He was over in Thailand
Really?
and bought one.
They trained that dude. It's not that
Absolutely, they
it's not
trained
that
him.
amazing.
Absolutely, they trained him. But
He didn't come. They didn't like pull him out of the jungle. He's like, I can paint elephants.
I'm just saying. My buddy has a painting.
He
that was
has
done.
one of the paintings from
Yes.
that elephant. That's
Yes.
badass.
Yes, he has one of the paintings on his wall from that exact elephant.
How the fuck did
that
he
he
get
bought
that?
in Thailand? He was over in Thailand, and he bought the painting
That-
of an elephant that painted a picture of an elephant holding a flower.
That'd be badass.
It's like, dude, you bought an elephant, a painting from an elephant?
That would be a sweet ass painting, you know, from the actual elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's legit.
Alright.
I'll find it for you after we're off the thing.
Okay. All right. We're done. Stop listening, people. Stop it.
Stop it.
We didn't do the outro.
Oh yeah. We're gonna do that. Well, I can't play the music for some reason. It's being weird.
Let's just do it tomorrow. It's fine.
Okay. Motherfucking outro time, frenzy.
What?
Yeah, let's do this.
Fuck yeah.
All right, that was our good friend, comedian Darrin Chase.
Minnesota native. Wilmer, actually.
Yeah, living out in LA now, slinging jokes, being in movies, TV shows.
Unofficial sponsor of Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Love that dude. He talked a lot of flat Earth.
Yep.
A lot of conspiracy. It was very interesting. Don't know how much of that I believe. That is yet to be determined, but he brought up some very interesting points, and it was a damn fun and fucking interesting conversation. That's for sure.
It was really fun. And I got into a frenzy a couple times.
Yeah,
too,
you did.
Which is always interesting.
So, let's talk a little bit about our sponsors.
Yes.
We have, for this episode, Northland Vapor Company. Those are the guys for that e-vape liquid that all you vapors love.
Mm-hmm.
And they got some badass flavors.
Yeah, they have D's nuts.
Yeah, that's
Just
like
kidding, that's not what it's called. It's called nuts and cream.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you're gonna love D's nuts.
Yeah, that's like their big one, right?
And they have a new flavor that's coming out soon, which is to be determined or to be released.
Yeah, they
So I'm assuming it's gonna be like pumpkin, maybe.
You think so? Pumpkin spice?
Mhm,
Oh,
maybe.
Gosh, I don't know. Gross.
Maybe pumpkin pie.
That's the time of year. But there's tons of very, very positive reviews on Northland Vapor online. You can find them. People seem to love the product.
Yeah, quality
And-
products, and you're paying like half of the price that you
Yeah.
would pay at any of the other places. That gives you maybe half the product. So,
Right. You can check them out at northlandvapor.com, and they have a promo code.
yep, Sarge 20 to get 20% off some awesome swag and the e-liquid, obviously.
Hell yeah. We also have Alpine Hemp. And these guys are the ones that provide you with full plant spectrum hemp oil. And it's that cannabinoids.
Cannabinoids,
Yeah,
cannabinoid
shit,
receptor
hemp oil,
compounds,
they have it in the tinctures, like the drip dropper thing.
capsules, and then e-vape liquid too.
Yeah, and this is the hemp oil. It's not psychoactive. It's not going to get you high. It is not going to make you fail a drug test at work. It is.
Yeah,
you get all the medicinal benefits of hemp oil without getting stoned like you do with marijuana.
And the coolest thing is it's actually natural. Our body produces
Exactly.
similar compounds, and sometimes you just need to get a little boosty boost. So
Yeah, it's like when you don't get the kind of nutrients that you need from your daily diet, and you have to take vitamins or supplements to get those nutrients back in.
Yeah.
The same thing with those cannabinoids,
Yep.
things that help you with like anxiety and insomnia. It helps with cigarette addiction. There's a whole list of things that it can help with. Do the research, go online, check it out, find out what it's all about, and you're going to see all the positive things and health benefits from hemp oil.
Yeah,
so,
and they provide the most quality product out there too. So you can
they
check
don't fuck
them
around.
out. No, they don't. That's something that they strive on. So you can find them at alpinehemp.com and use the code Sarge20 for 20% off.
Fuck yeah. And we have Comics Watching Comics, hosted by
Kevin Goatee.
And if you haven't heard of Comics Watching Comics, it's like a TV show where they have a panelist of intermediate comics, or they have intermediate comics do sets, and then a panel of more veteran comics kind of bust their balls, critique them, shit like that.
Give feedback, yep.
Yeah, and some recent news. They're coming soon.
To Amazon Video.
Yes.
Season 5. You can find seasons 1 through 4 currently on YouTube. All 4 seasons.
Get them while they're still free, people.
And they also have some sweet Comics Watching Comics t-shirts for sale right now. $16 a pop.
Yeah, we just got a couple of those in the mail.
We just got a couple. We're going to be rocking those in a Facebook Live video soon.
So check them out. And then we also have our final sponsor for this episode is the SportsBook Box Office Podcast, hosted by
Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Ball.
Yes, 2 veteran comics from the New York area. They talk about sports and movies, and they bust each other's balls as well on that one, and they tell each other why the other's opinion is wrong.
Yeah, and it's going to get really good because football season's starting again.
Fuck
so
yeah, I can't wait for football.
They're both football fans, so
yes.
I am super excited for that. And Kevin is going to be on our show September 21st. He's going to talk about Amazon Video, and we're going to catch up with him, so that'll be fun.
Hell yeah. So check them out on Spreaker, iTunes, Podomatic, and like them on Facebook and Twitter and all that shit.
Yeah, they're also on our sponsor tab on our Facebook page, or not Facebook page, website.
SargeProof.com. Damn right. Coming up in the month of September, this is our last episode for August. Coming up in September, we have Tony Seward, another member of the 502 of Comedy.
Excuse me, did you just blow over our fantasy draft?
Well, that's not.
It's not on the show, but we just need to make it known that it's happening.
Part of this podcast. No one cares when our fantasy draft is.
I do.
I do too.
I'm just excited.
I know. So look forward to that, and we're gonna have also Marty Ray. Looking forward to Marty Ray. If you haven't heard of Marty Ray and Austin Wood from the DMV Sports Talk podcast,
yeah, Sports Talk. Yep,
DMV Sports Talk. So yeah, look forward to that. We got a full lineup for September. It's going to be badass as always. And I think what we're going to do, we're done. Yeah, this is over. We are going to play this episode out with a song by Louis Ling and the Bombs called Conspiracy.
Yeah.
That
All
sounds
right.
fitting.
I love it.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Bye.
Later, fuckers.
My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
She said to me, this is life, and she said to me, I don't need any proof, said to me, your life is a lie. She said to me, this is life, and she said to me, I don't need any proof, said to me, your life is a lie. Well, caught in love, I could go bank killed. I tell you, it's conspiracy. CIA had JFK killed. I tell you, it's conspiracy. Illuminati rules the world. I tell you, it's conspiracy. Just fucking admit it, it's conspiracy. Just fucking admit it, it's conspiracy. She said to me, this is right. She said to me, I don't need any proof. Said to me, your life is a lie. She said to me, this is right. She said to me, I don't need any proof. Said to me, your life is a lie. Well, neocons left the 2 towers down. I tell you, it's conspiracy. Malcolm X, he should have known. I tell you, it's conspiracy. Drugs in the water keep us dumb. I tell you, it's conspiracy. Fucking admit it, it's conspiracy. Just fucking admit it.